welcome in. Oh, this is the wrong screen. My bad. This is hello. That was you got the secret dark screen. My bad. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone's weekend? We have a long weekend here in Canada. I don't know if you guys have long weekends elsewhere, but at least in Canada, um, we have I think various holiday. I don't know if everyone has the same holiday or if they're different across the provinces, but we have today on Monday it's Victoria Day, which is I guess for Queen Victoria. I'm glad you got your A game today. That 30 seconds late last time was I know it was disgraceful, honestly. But I made sure when I woke up today, I brought my water bottle with me. So I wouldn't forget it. So I thought ahead this time. Next weekend is long. Oh, next weekend is long weekend. I see. Is it what is it? What is next weekend? That's annoying. They should coordinate because our team meetings are going to be really annoying. Memorial Day. I see. We welcome in red and welcome in meaningless name. We don't have a I know you guys don't have a queen, but maybe sometimes our holidays align, but they're like different holidays, you know? Well, you guys have like Memorial Day and Veterans Day, right? What's the difference? Oh no. I think I asked this before. Memorial Day is for the soldiers who died, and then Veterans Day are for the ones that are alive. We don't have that. We just have one Remembrance Day, which I think is for the people who died, but maybe it's for the people alive as well. Gosh, I'm trying to get all the lip product off my water bottle, but it's getting stuck to my hand. And welcome in Red Mist. Hope you're doing well today. Perfect time to go do things in Canada while they're working. You can. It's always a great time to go to Canada. But I guess it won't be like super busy long weekend vibes, if you go on Memorial Day. Oh, next weekend is long weekend for you guys too. Oh, then it might be for Ireland as well. Sometimes they align, but I guess Ireland has their own their own holidays, so who knows? They just make up their holidays. They're like, "Oh, we want an extra holiday, so like let's just pick a saint." And then they just pick a saint and then they're like, "Oh, it's like Saint Gwen Day." Queen Melania. That's true. That's true. That can be your like you guys can have Queen Melania if you want. Was she even a queen? Wouldn't it be America? But I was actually playing Elden Ring last night. Did not see Melania though. We were playing the randomizer last night, and um, in Morgoth's place was Moog, which is quite fitting, and I'm a big Moog fan. And then it was too hard, like right at the start, because we were low level. So then we went to a dungeon where like that, the Erdtree, not Erdtree Avatar, what it's called, the Watchdog, and it was Radagon. Like, oh great, these are so easy. And welcome in, Chicano. How are you? It's getting so bright. Oh my god, it's blinding. What the hell? Um, sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget. You forget is for me as well. What is the holiday? You just say this when there's another red that's not me and an imposter red. Oh no. Well, you can be red mist and then red can be red. Because at least you have like a suffix so you can add, you know? And it's that. Thanks for the 65 months. We're doing well today. You have a 4-day weekend this week because you booked a sick and a holiday last Thursday and Friday. Let's go. That is nice. So you have a 4-day weekend and then followed by a 3-day weekend. That is quite nice. Your English is loading. You'll get there. You'll get there. It's pre-coffee, you know. Maybe I should close my. Okay, so I finally got new curtains, by the way, because you guys know I bought curtains before, like these same curtains, and then I washed them because they were wrinkly. I washed them, and then it was like, oh, like they might shrink a little, and I was like, okay, that's fine. But then they shrunk like completely different lengths, and I was like, oh, this is not gonna work. And then I tried to return it, and then they're like, oh, you cut off the tag, so you can't return it. Um, so I was like, well, what am I supposed to like? I was like, well, okay, well, I guess I'll just buy new ones. So then I bought new ones, and then I bought a steamer. So then I steamed these curtains, and then they're not wrinkly anymore. The steamer actually was quite fun. And then also, Um, the curtains though are really. I wish I could wash them because they're kind of stinky. Like they smell really weird. Like these IKEA curtains, they just smell really strange. My whole room smells like this IKEA curtains now, and I'm hoping the smell just goes away eventually. Maybe I should just like open the window, let it air out for a while. So I'm not sure. Um, you got demoted to red mist. It isn't the first rodeo. Well, what would you like to be called? Because I've called you red mist this whole time. I didn't call you red. I just kept your name. But yeah, sometimes people have the same name, and we have to differentiate somehow. And welcome in Zuko, and the streamer is looking very chipped. I don't know what that means, but is it like chopped? If it's coming from zirconia, I have to assume that it's negative, like a negative uh word, but I have no idea what that means. And welcome in Dawn. Hope you're doing well today. You going to anime con? Like any anime con? No, just in general. Or is there like a main one? There's probably a main one, right? Anime Expo. That's in LA though, I think. I'm not going to any anime con ever in my life. If I ever if I ever go to an anime con, there'll be extenuating circumstances. Like I don't know. Like the extenuating circumstances is um I my voice acting career, I suddenly became a voice actor and I'm going to conventions as a voice actor. That's the only way. You can call me Red Miss. Okay, okay. Daconia is known for his compliments. It was effusively praising me. I have to. Chikano, you must know what chipped means. Anime NYC. Well, I live on the opposite side of the continent, so I will not be going to that. I live on the west coast in Canada. WaifuCon. Okay, WaifuCon would be like the last place I'd rather go. Oh, for the chipped tooth. Oh, I see, I see. Yeah. If you guys don't know, if you weren't in the Discord, I was supposed to stream on Wednesday, but on Tuesday I was flossing my teeth, as you do. I was having a nice midday floss, and I was flossing the bottom teeth, and then I I like pulled off the floss, and then suddenly something goes flying out my mouth, and I was like, "What is that?" And then I go and look at it. It's like really hard. I'm like, "What? What just flew out of my mouth?" And then like I was like, "There's something else in my mouth," and I bit down on it, and it was really hard, so I took it out, and I was like, "Oh my god, is this pieces of my teeth?" I was like, "Is this piece of my teeth? Is it like a filling?" And I was like, "Did I have a cavity there?" I can't remember where I've had cavities. And then I was like, "I feel like this is part of my tooth." So then I had to go to the dentist on Wednesday. And turns out, yes, it was part of my tooth. And then he was like, "Oh, like you could put a filling, but it's like at the tip of your tooth, so the filling is likely to come off. You could probably just shave it down." So he just shaved it down so it's not like sharp. Um, yeah, so now my tooth is part of my tooth is gone. So yeah, the lesson I learned is never floss. You should floss every day, but just floss very carefully. Floss very don't floss really aggressive. I wasn't flossing really aggressively, but um it's because this tooth was already it got chipped when I did my braces, which is sometimes can happen when you get braces because like your teeth are moving around a lot. Um, so yeah, this tooth was actually already chipped on the edge. So I think it must have been fracturing, and I must have like gotten in the fracture and just like ripped it out. So that tooth was already weak. I think. You live in Vancouver? Yeah, I live in Vancouver. There's a fish and chip shop here called Chippy. Yeah, yeah, cause yeah, fish and chip shops is called Chippy. Fish and chips is so freaking good. But um, the fish and chips here is really good. The one at you've been to Steveston, right? The fish and chips at Steveston is really good. Because I was talking to my Pilates instructor who recently went on a honeymoon to Paris and London, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I went to London. I really wanted to try fish and chips because like it's like British food." And then she was like, "Yeah, I got some fish and chips. and it was really bad. Like, it was really bland, and I was like, I had the same experience because I okay, I've had fish and chips twice. Once in Wales, no offense, that place I think Gwen doesn't it was just, like, a random place. It wasn't, like, a treasured location. That place, so salty. Like, legitimately, it was, like, drowning in salt. Like, I could barely eat the chips. Um, but then the second place I had, so bland. To be fair, um, I was a little sick, so, like, I wasn't tasting very well because of my congestion, but I swear, like, they didn't season the fish at all, and apparently you're supposed to, like, salt it yourself, but I'm like, there you don't just pour salt on the outside, like, you have to if you salt, like, the actual fish, the flesh itself before deep frying it, there's a difference between, like, just pouring it on the deep fried part, you know what I mean? So I was like, what are they doing? What are they doing?" Britain will never beat the allegations. Floss, like a Fortnite player in 2019. Is that good or bad? You know, I would say flossing the dance is not particularly aggressive, so that's fine. Water floss might be safe. I know, I was thinking that, but water floss seems like such a hassle, and I'm pretty diligent about flossing. But it's actually kind of funny because, you know, Mother's Day was very recently here in North America, and my mom, she was like, "Oh, can you buy me a water pick?" I did. I just bought her a water pick, and it's like in my my entry, my like doorway right now because I'm gonna give it to her this weekend. But she asked for the water pick. It's on sale at Costco right now. I was like, should I get one too? I was like, I just ordered one. Like, should I get a second one? But it seems like it's really big. Because she got like a combo set. There's like the the one that goes on the counter, and it's like the wired one, and then there's a cordless one as well. And I was like, why does she need so many water? Maybe I can uh, have the handheld one, but it's even the handheld one seems very large. I don't know. But I don't think my other teeth will chip. My other teeth are I think okay. But the water floss does seem nice because I have like a you know, like after you get braces and then they put the wire, so I have like a wire on the top teeth, which doesn't prevent me flossing, but the bottom teeth does. You can't just like put the floss directly in. You have to like thread it through and then floss it. But my teeth are pretty like um crammed in there, so it can be kind of hard to do that. So and the very back of my bottom teeth, they get really like it's very hard to clean there because it's like the wires in the way, and it always gets stained, and then they always have to clean off. And welcome in, Isles. Hope you're doing well today. Where are the fish coming from? Don't you live like 2K miles inland? They're coming from Vancouver. We just shipped them over. I mean, the tartar sauce and vinegar help. Yeah, I know, but they should actually season the fish. Like any food should be seasoned. But, that's kind of hard to come by. Kinda hard to come by in the UK, no offense. Congestion, stop using fancy oh, you're right. I shouldn't be using that word. What do you even say, like, instead of congestion? Like, "Ah, my nose is stuffy." Yeah, you can say that. Water flossing is chill, but it's not a drop-in replacement for flossing, it's not as effective. I should tell my mom that before she goes all in on the only water flossing. Yeah, if it's not a replacement, then it may as well just normal floss, you know? But the dentist did recommend me a water flosser for the back of my bottom teeth because he took a picture of it, and I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Oh, yeah, it doesn't look great." They always clean it very thoroughly, though, when I get a actual cleaning. But I went to a new dentist because you guys know I moved, right? So I decided to change dentists because I didn't really care that much about the old one, like, I was like, "I don't like the old dentist." I feel very neutral towards my old dentist, so I was like, "I'm not gonna drive, like, an extra distance just to go to the old dentist." But the dentist was really nice, like, he was very chill, and the reception people were pretty chill, but at the same time, the dentist okay, this is really weird, but the dentist, his hands, the gloves he was wearing gloves, obviously, but, like, his hands smelled really weird. And I was like, "Is that a deal breaker? Is it just today? Are the gloves old? Like, or is that just how the gloves smell? Is that how the dentist smells?" Like, I was, like, really, like, second guessing this because it smelled really weird. Do you guys think that's a deal breaker for the dentist? And welcome in, Mamiya. Hope you're doing well today. Get some gold teeth. I'll be sick like Victor. Yeah, I would love to look like Victor Gideon. He's my inspiration. And welcome in young. Hope you're doing well today as well. You have a brace on the back of your top teeth, so I water floss, and then I floss my bottom teeth normally. Oh, I have the opposite. My top teeth, they did it in like the pattern where you can actually just floss. My bottom teeth are, I mean, my bottom teeth are really small. Look. So I think that's why I have to do the threader thingy. Do the thin floss. Yeah, I think I should do like thin floss on the bottom. I don't know. But I have a lot of normal floss, and the normal floss works fine for the most part. But the floss threader, the floss threader is like extra. It's quite thick. No, I think it's a problem. And then I tried using those like floss picks. But the one I have is like too big, so then it was like bleeding. So I was like, maybe not. I think they have smaller ones, so I think that would be the easiest because the floss threader is really annoying. If you guys don't know, it's like a little stick with like a it's not a stick, but it's like a wire kind of thing, and then it has like a loop on the end. So you put your floss through the loop, and then you put it all the way through your teeth, and then so it pulls the floss through, and then you can floss because it's already through. But then you have to do that for each tooth. It's like really annoying. So I'm not a huge fan. I definitely don't do that every day. I don't know if you're supposed to do that part every day, but I floss my other teeth every day, and then I floss those 4 gaps, like, once a week, which my dentist would probably not approve of, but I don't wanna do that floss but if I could just poke it with the floss pick, then maybe I would do that. I might look into this. Reuse glo yeah, what if they were reused? Like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, "Are these gloves dirty? Like, did he not change gloves? Surely he would, right?" I was like, what like, gloves aren't like, is he, like, that cheap or something that he's like, I can't be using the I can't be getting new gloves each time." There's no way, right? You stick your hand in someone's mouth and then like frugal dentists surely are not frugal, right? Like they must be really I guess just because you're rich doesn't mean you're not frugal. Bring your own gloves. Yeah, right. I'll be like, "Hey dentist, could you use these gloves instead?" He'd be like, "What the hell?" Um, ever seen those videos where they clean a rusty nail with Coke/Pepsi? Maybe we can clean our teeth that way by using Coke as a mouthwash. That is so smart, Stan. You should be a dentist. um, yeah, so my my teeth are luckily they're doing all right except for the one the tooth chipping issue. Everything else kind of fine. They asked me to like book in for a cleaning, so I did book in for a cleaning at that dentist. So I guess we'll see. And then if I go back next time and his hands are stinky again, then maybe I will consider changing dentist because I'm not that attached to this one. Is that find a new calling? Yeah, he could be a dental hygienist. Just rub charcoal raw onto your teeth and then rinse and brush with toothpaste. That's something people do, right? Surely that tastes horrible. But welcome in salt. I don't know if I would. I know charcoal toothpaste is a thing, right? But I just use normal toothpaste. I like using um Sensodyne, and then I floss just with normal floss. You can a really if Costco has really good deal on floss. Like, you can get a huge pack of floss, and it's a lot cheaper than even just one floss sometimes from a normal store. Imagine acquiring the taste for charcoal. I have no idea what charcoal tastes like. I don't think I wanna know. Like, I've only had, like, charcoal grilled stuff. So I don't think that includes eating the charcoal itself, so I'm not super sure how it tastes. We use charcoal fresh from wood, not the pre-made kind. I see, okay. Charcoal fresh from wood. Okay. I mean, yeah, I know charcoal toothpaste is a thing, so it must be there must be some it has no particular taste. Really? I would assume it tastes a little like burnt or something, you know? Yeah, learning new things, learning what charcoal tastes like. No, JK, what? I believed you, man. It was a lie? Oh my god. No, but charcoal toothpaste exists. Is it just a scam? It might just be a scam. I'm sure there's, like, many different types of toothpaste, right? Try. Oh, no. No, this is I for real believe this is a thing. Charcoal toothpaste. Yeah, see? Charcoal toothpaste is a trendy oral care product used for primarily whitening teeth by removing surface stains from coffee, tea, and tobacco. It contains active charcoal. Maybe that's different. Yeah, activated. Yeah, maybe that's different than charcoal straight from the wood fire. Probably different, yeah. I've had activated charcoal, like, medicinally, but I don't remember what it tastes like. It has a certain mouthfeel that, is that good or bad? You're a Sensodyne main? Same, Sensodyne main. Sensodyne's a go-to toothpaste. Let's go, let's go. Sensodyne's the best. Cause as someone who, you know, okay, braces really does a number on your teeth, okay? I chipped my tooth, and it gave me gum recession. So I do have a little bit of sensitivity on my teeth sometimes. I have to be really careful about how hard I brush. Um, and yeah, Sensodyne is really helpful for that. And my dentist even told me, or the hygienist actually told me, she was like, "Oh, like if one of your teeth is feeling like particularly sensitive, well, firstly, you're not supposed to like rinse your tooth. Like after you brush your teeth, you're not supposed to like rinse it out with water. Um, you're supposed to just like let it sit, and then you could rinse like 20 minutes later if you want to. Um, but she said, like, if it's really sensitive, you can just take some toothpaste on your finger and then, like, rub it onto the tooth and just leave it there for a bit, and then rinse it out, and that actually really does help. Like, when she said that, and I tried it at home, and it actually really does. Like, luckily, my teeth aren't super sensitive right now, but, I had this one tooth in the back that was, like, really sensitive, and it does help. So, pro tip, if that happens to you. Also, the sun is just, like, attacking me right now. It keeps going dark and then bright and then dark and then bright, really messing with my, lighting. But I like having natural light, so I won't complain. But charcoal was for barbecue. It has many purposes. You're Sensodyne too, Ricky. Let's go. Yeah, Costco has really good deals on Sensodyne as well. So yeah, I like getting a lot of my household products from Costco. But some things are like too big to get from Costco. So I don't get them from Costco, but really depends on the product, honestly. But I might just start becoming like everything from Costco. Like especially if it doesn't expire. Like if it's like, oh, like trash bags. They don't expire. You can get those from Costco. Um, you watched this one video and the dude played every Zelda game and said Twilight Princess was top one. Everyone has a different opinion, man. What's your top three? Is it Ocarina, Breath of the Wild? I don't know what you'd put third. Me too, driving home with the pallet of toilet. I get toilet paper from Costco. Why wouldn't you? You're you are griefing yourself if you don't get toilet paper from Costco. It is so much cheaper. And also, yeah, sometimes I end up like leaving it in the car though. Um, because like I have so much stuff from Costco. I can't, especially because like the toilet paper is like you can't really carry much else if you're holding this giant thing of toilet paper. So, um, usually I just leave it in the car. Sometimes I leave it in the car for weeks and then I get it back out when it's convenient for me. Ocarina, Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker. Oh, okay, Wind Waker. Yeah, you like that one game that has Denise? Denise is iconic. You're right. Me, Jackson, and Denise. Exactly, exactly. We had to. I really I'm really paving my own way in these games. Like, did people consider if you don't if you don't figure out how the potions work? 'Cause I don't think the game ever tell me how potions work? I swear it did not. Like I really think it did not. Because I never bought the bottle. Because I didn't know about the bottle. Um, maybe it said it and I just didn't know. But which is entirely possible, but I feel like it didn't. So I was like, I would after every fight with the imprisoned guy or whatever, and the avocado looking guy, I would go back upstairs and sit down on the chair because sitting down on the chair is free healing. So I was like, I would just go sit on the chair the whole time, and that's where the Mijak set emote comes from. Very iconic. You like Skyward Sword, but the swimming is a deal breaker. Yeah, I think Skyward Sword, I liked that it had some nice story moments, but not in the story wasn't like incredible enough for me to like for it to carry the enjoyment of the game for me. Like, did I did I have a good time playing it the first time? Yes, but would I play it again? No, I would not play it again. Me do the one trip Andy, whatever she doesn't make it stays in the car till the next time she lays her flat the week after. I mean, why not? It's convenient. Why would I make a separate trip to the car when I could just wait till I go to like the grocery okay, I guess not the grocery store because then I have stuff to carry. I wait till I go to Pilates and then I just do everything outside the house at once. I'm already at the car. Why not? I think you have 1 Breath of the Wild, 2 Link to the Past, 3 Twilight Princess, 4 Ocarina of Time. Mm. Yeah, I don't have a ranking, I'm sorry. Mine is just 1 Breath of the Wild. I don't have a preference to the other ones. Link's crossbow training is clearly the best Zelda. I knew you were gonna say a niche one. A Link to the Past is so freaking good. Maybe I'm biased though because I never completed Twilight Princess. Is it too hard? 3 Ocarina of Time, 4 Twilight Princess. Okay. Been a while since you played Twilight Princess. I watched you play it. But I guess it could have been like 5 years ago though at that point. um Skyward Sword bounces between 10 out of 10 design and 2 to 10 tedium at the drop of a feather. Tons of good qualities and several completely awful ideas. Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously I'm not a dungeon enjoyer, so I'm not the right person to judge this game, but yeah, there were some great moments like for me very memorable the um where like Zelda's like dying or something. I can't remember what it was. It was very sad. Um and then what else? And I like the last dungeon. Even as a dungeon hater, the last dungeon was kind of cool where you could like move around the sections of it. I thought that was well done. But yeah, there's so much backtracking. Like every time it was like, oh, go back to this place. I was like, really? We're gonna go back? We went back like 3 times. I was like, why are we going back so many times? It's just super annoying. I think the motion controls were kind of fun. They were janky as hell, but it was like I appreciate that they tried to do something. And it was on the Wii, so I can understand that. And then also, what was I gonna say? I can't remember. Okay, well, it's too late. I don't know what it was. Oh, in the final fight, I still hold a grudge about this with Denise. Um, at the start of the fight, it says I was like a sky, what was it called? Where you hold up a sword and you go like this, the Skyward Blade. No, that's from Genshin Impact. Whatever. It was like Skyward Smash, whatever. That one, it was like being blinded thing. Um, Skyward Strike, yeah, Skyward Strike. It was like I was like a Skyward Strike spammer. I would use it on every enemy, and so I tried to use it on Denise, and it said Skyward Strike doesn't work here, and I was like, oh, okay, he's immune to Skyward Strike. And then got stuck later in the fight. I was like, oh, I can't hit him. What's wrong? And then you have to Skyward Strike. But I was like, at the start of the fight, you told me you can't Skyward Strike. I was like, I thought that was like not good design. They should have at least like indicated that changed or something. I don't know. Cause like for me, I was just like, oh, you can't Skyward Strike. That's fine. Awakening is great, but hard to consider the best. Yeah, fair enough. Get Twilight Princess on Wii back when it was released, and playing as Wolf Link annoyed me, so I quit playing it. Fair enough. An annoying section could just ruin a game. But for me, it's like because I'm streaming it. I have like even if I'm annoyed, I'll continue. Which I think is a good thing. Cause like then I can experience some games. I'm like, oh, and I could have done without playing this. But some games, I'm like, oh, there was actually really good parts that I enjoyed about it, and I'm glad I pushed through. And welcome in Thunder. Hope you're doing well. Um, Counterpoint. You played on your Game Boy when you were 10. Good job. The primitive motion controls. The Skyward Sword motion controls are decent, but on Twilight Princess for Wii, yeah, I can't speak to this. I have no idea. Counterpoint. You played Wind Waker first as a kid, therefore it's the best. I know the nostalgia is strong as well. And I think it's totally valid to like a game for nostalgic reasons. But as someone who tried playing Wind Waker, I didn't get very far. I have no idea how far. I think I got to the first dungeon, but I was like, guys, what's the point of this game? As a dungeon hater, I'm like, is the reward the dungeons? Because that's for me, it's a punishment. Hulk smash, yeah, Link's Hulk smash. I think they're trying to do something similar to Ocarina of Time, where Navi can't be used in the first half, but not very well. Yeah, because like, how was I supposed to know that I could now use Skyward Strike? Like, there was really no indication that I could do that. So it's like I was just confused. Because I'm like, I'm listening to the game. Like I was like, Fi, is that her name? Fiona? I forgot her name. Um, the blue lady. She was like, oh, like I take her word for it. I believe her. You know, I trust her. On Wind Waker, you can have a fat pig, like as a pet, or no, the daughter you can. What about Dark Beast Ganon? That's a pretty big pig. So checkmate. Yeah, something is it because there's a tiny gap at the top of my curtain? Is that what's blinding me? There's no way, right? Because there's like one. Okay, you know what? I think it is. Hold on. Or the gap in the curtains. Maybe it will stop blinding me when the sun comes back out. He starts as a little piggy, and then he's fat when you beat the game. It's awesome. Aw, so he grows up. That's cute. Yeah, it's sometimes I have my sometimes I have a lot of grudges on games. Sometimes I'm like, because for me, I'm just very stupid in games. Like in real life, I'm not that stupid. Okay, like I trust me. In real life, I'm m- I'm decently intelligent. I can get through life. I have good problem solving skills. But as soon as I'm in a game, I think I just like still to this day, like at this point, I've been playing games for like 10 years. But I think I haven't played a huge variety of games. So I think that's why sometimes like in certain games the the language of games or like what the game's trying to like hint to me or like explain to me in like game terms it does I don't pick up on, you know? Like especially like for example in like Resident Evil. I think there's a lot of Resident Evil specific things that I just like don't really quite understand yet. But I will get there. Especially the more like the puzzly survival horror side of it, I am less familiar with because I didn't play those as much. So I sometimes the game is trying to tell me something and I'm not picking up what they're putting down. But like that's also I think partially on the game. I think the game should be like I think they would have known that people who had never played Resident Evil will be playing Resident Evil Requiem. Um, but I'm also like extra stupid in games, so part of it is on me. Um, Never thought you would have thought Vancouver was so sunny. It's really nice in the summer. It's beautiful and sunny in the summer. Why is it somewhat cold for mid-May? It's not that cold. It's been like it's been reaching like 20 degrees. They say Monster Hunter fixes gaming skill deficiency. Who says that, Ricky? You? I think it's you. You're like, they say. Some people. I don't know who they are. Trust me, just is not dumb aside video games. Yeah, I have a degree in math. I can't be that stupid, right? How would I have gone through this degree? I got good grades. It's snow. What? Wait, it's not. I thought you said it was nice out. It's still snowing? Oh my god. Alberta, man. That's crazy. Um, it was 49F yesterday morning. I don't know what that is. You're gonna have to convert that. I'm sure she truly believes that. Me? No, I think I would say I would say well, depending on what you consider average intelligence. I think I'm doing all right. I think I'm doing all right. I'm just really gaming stupid, okay? As soon as I get into a game, I'm in Leon mode. I'm full himbo mode, you know? I'm like, there's a door. Let me just try pushing it open. Let me try shooting it. I'm like, oh, I can shoot it. Let me shoot it. uh, source, trust me, bro. Right, right. Channel will never learn Celsius. Yeah, he's gotta understand that most of us are Celsius guys. Kimmy's little sis was fighting me over Celsius not being a thing. Really? Wait, so did did Kimmy's family grew up in America? Is that why? 'Cause otherwise she would not be using Fahrenheit. Um, just her sister. Oh, okay, okay. Because I was like, I know Kimmy was also from Cuba with you, so I was like, I don't. I was trying to figure this family out. Oh, so she's been fully Fahrenheit imperialized. Unfortunate. You got to teach her Celsius. It's raining in Wales. Mind blowing, I know. Is it warm though? It's been pouring down here all day. See, Vancouver, better weather. Actually, it was raining yesterday, and we had a crazy thunderstorm earlier this week. Like huge thunder, and I was like, "What the hell was that?" And it was just a thunderstorm. It's not very common here. Came like 9 years ago, but she's still quite young, right? So it was in her formative years. I could imagine the weather in Wales is similar to the Pacific Northwest, awful for 3 quarters of the year, but the one quarter is unbeatable. Yeah, I think the weather in the United Kingdom is pretty similar to the Pacific Northwest. It's similar latitude, whichever one is the horizontal one. Because when I was in Wales, I think yeah, when I was Wales, I was in Wales in like June, July, and it was pretty nice. It wasn't like amazing weather, I think. Um, but I don't know. I'd assume it gets quite nice and sunny because like here like I think in June it might still rain sometimes, but in like August, September, it's pretty nice. Oh, Kimmy came. Her sister was born here. I see, I see. Yeah, there. You have a degree in computer science and aviation science with a minor in ATC. What's ATC? I mean, I'm smart too. I mean, I think if you get through a college education, surely you have to be at least like above average intelligence. If we're considering average intelligence to be like 100 IQ, like surely you can't be like below that and still get through college. Like there's a lot that you have to do. Although, but I think um, but there's not always like a one-to-one correlation for sure. Like I think you can obviously be smart and not go to college. Um, and you can be, I guess you could be dumb and go to college. That's true. You could have just like stumbled your way through your degree. Requires persistent. That's true. That's true. Or you could be like really rich. That could also be. Yeah. But I think if you get a degree, sorry, not to be like biased, because like I'm a STEM major, but like I think if you get a degree in STEM, unless you somehow like cheated your way through it, I think it requires a lot of like logic and problem solving skill. Maybe just specifically for math and comp sci or whatever. But I think like you need to be able to like reason things out. So I don't know. You were in Cali a few weeks ago. Best weather ever. I mean, not to be biased, but like it gets too hot, no? For me, it's like too hot. As someone who lives in the Pacific Northwest, I'm like, for me, Cali in like February, March is like best, like great weather. But when anything like more summer than that, too hot. Air traffic control. I see. I see. Your dad uses Fahrenheit from Saskatchewan. What? I didn't know your dad was from Saskatchewan. Um, do they use Fahrenheit in Saskatchewan, or is it just like a? Is it just your dad? College is sorry, I just read that. And welcome in Wolf. Hope you're doing well today. There are a lot of dumb people at college. Yeah, okay, you're right. You're right. Okay, sorry. You're right. You're right. Okay, that's okay. Also, book smart doesn't it depends on your definition of smart as well. Cuz like book smart, people can have really lacking common sense. Like they could like book smart, common sense, emotional intelligence. They're not always like there's no correlation of like them being like one to one, you know? So I think someone could be like really book smart but like really still really stupid just like in day-to-day life, you know? You'll consider to insist that continue to insist that Oslo has the greatest weather in the world, except outside of winter, but that's um it's only 6 months of the year anyway, right? 6 months of the year. Um your stats dad is an undercover American, a spy. Your computer knowledge is old school now. Fair enough. But I feel like the concepts will probably still apply, no? Unless I guess a lot of stuff has changed. Um, you're walking Manhattan and Hermosa Beach. It was 21 degrees, full sunshine with the ocean breeze. Okay, 21 degrees, great weather. But like in like a month or two, California is gonna be like 30 plus. It's gonna be way too hot. Someone I shared a uni flat was I wouldn't say dumb, but she was disgusting. It had the same people that you like posted the video of how your kitchen looked like, and it was like a dumpster. Those are the people you had to move out of, right? Because those people were awful. Um, your dad is very smart knowledge wise and very stupid socially wise. You said he was a surgeon, right? Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. It's okay, it's okay. Ricky's dad, you'll be okay. I mean, he clearly made it through somehow, you know. He had a family. Well, at that point, it's like, do you really need social skills? Nah, probably. It's probably fine. Just stay at home. Um, and welcome in, Maestro. How was the dentist? Little bird told me you had a problem with your teeth. Yeah, I chipped my tooth, but the dentist filed it down and removed the jagged parts, and that's fine. I'm just missing part of my teeth. Back in the day, couldn't decide what you wanted to do. As you can see, went aviation. Hey, nothing wrong with having a broad, just keeping all the options open. Um, and welcome in, protagonist. Hope you're doing well today. She had beans in the bed, like loose, or like a can. Well, actually, both are bad. Both are bad. But loose is definitely worse. Um, but yeah, so I think that I don't know how people live like that. I would say I'm a above averagely clean person. I would say I am quite clean by Western standards and average. Maybe, yeah, I would say I'm about average by Japanese standards. But I'm trying to be less of a clean freak, I think. That's probably good for me. But I am very, I wouldn't be able to live with someone who has beans in the bed or like trash everywhere or like that kind of thing. Or like I mean, this is not that common. It's not that common in Vancouver, but I could not live with someone who's like shoes in the house, like, oh, we're gonna wear shoes in the house always. Um, that happened to me once. I'm spilling the beans, but I had braces back in the day, like I had teeth gaps. Yeah, yeah. I had braces too, as you know, and that caused one of my teeth to chip. So that's probably why a bunch of it came off this week. She had been eating beans and she had been eating beans and left the plate half eaten under her bed sheets. Under? Like, okay, if you just like place it on the bed, that's one thing. Putting the blanket on top, why? Like, literally, why? Was there not, like, a table? Like, why on the bed? That's weird. It's super weird. That can be taught, though, depends if the person, um yeah, it's, like depends if the person is able to accept. That's true, that's true. Some people really won't change their ways, but some people really won't change their ways, but it's, like, it really depends. She was an art student, but I think someone who's that dirty, they're beyond saving. Like, I'm like, I think those people, if they're gonna, like, cohabitate with someone, they should find another person who's also just as disgusting, and then they can live in filth, you know? I think that's the only way. No normal person would be able to live in that condition, you know? She was also art student, put a bedsheet on her bedroom wall and tried to paint it brown. Why? Um, and then went through the bedsheet, so it looked like she spread something all over the walls. Why? That's, like, damaging the property. Um, if this was posted on Reddit, would 100% not believe it was true. Really? You wouldn't believe that someone is that dirty? I would believe that. It depends how they wrote the story, though. The way people write the story can give away if the Reddit story is true or not. Yeah, yeah, Japanese people, Japan's, like, very, very clean, which I think is a good thing. I think I appreciate that. Did you have any teeth refilled or something? They refilled my tooth and I have one of those permanent retainers in the back of my tooth. Yeah, I have a permanent retainer on my top and bottom teeth. Um, but I didn't get anything refilled. I still have, like, a gap between my front two teeth, which I kinda wanna refill one day, but 'cause sometimes food gets stuck in it, it's a little bit annoying. New app, Filth Find. Yeah, they should have, like, on the dating apps, they should have, like, "How clean are you?" But I think people aren't gonna be honest about how clean they are, you know? Like, I think yeah, I don't know I don't know how you'd figure that out. Your wife says you're overly clean, you can't stand messes. Fair enough, fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. You had braces in 2009 and then again in 2016. Oh, I'm sorry, I had them twice. Um, she also ate breakfast in the shower and used to leave plates and bowls half eaten there. Why is she eating all this food in random places? In the shower? Doesn't it get wet? That's so weird. At least, like, rinse it off, you know? If you're already in the shower, just rinse it off. But yeah, eating in the bathroom is kinda gross. Like, I can understand, like, maybe having a little snack while you're, like, getting ready, but, like, straight up eating in the shower, I don't that's really weird. Um, so much saliva drips, it's a struggle, like, oh, like, I don't have actual gaps between my teeth themselves, I just have like, a little triangle gap, like, here. But the bottom of the teeth is together. I don't have enough space in my mouth to have gaps between my teeth. My teeth are very crowded. And Wakamin's by Hunter. I'll be doing well today. And so, luckily, I never had a crazy. I've only ever had like when I was in university, I stayed in the dorm in the first year, and I had a roommate, but we were like we only shared a bathroom. Like there was like it was like a what do they call it, Jack and Jill bathroom, where there's like a door on each end, um, and then so we each had our own room, and then the bathroom was connected. And she was pretty chill. I didn't really talk to her much. If you eat soup in the shower, it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet that never ends. True, true. You can keep refilling your soup with water. Miju's teeth are one size too big for her mouth. They are. It's really annoying. But what can I do? I was, I was born with these teeth. But they're straight now, so I guess that helps. But they're not. Luckily, there was like just enough space. it wasn't to the point where, like, I think some people, like, if they're too overcrowded, you have to, like, just, like, get one taken out or something, but I didn't have to take any out. But I still have all my teeth except my wisdom teeth, and my wisdom teeth are gone. So you had to remember to lock 2 doors. I mean, you didn't have to lock your door, 'cause, like, no one would presumably come in from your side. Um, I guess you just have to lock the other side. But some bathrooms are like that, you have to lock 2 doors. You're born with the teeth of someone who is 180 centimeters tall. I was destined to be 180 centimeters tall, and I didn't drink enough milk, apparently. Too bad. I will maybe I'm growing into them. I might be growing. I haven't measured myself in a very long time, you know. I could still be growing. I could reach 155 centimeters. I might get there. The new gym has been amazing recently. Is this the warehouse one you're talking about? Newer machines and other machines I've never used. Ooh. Even though it's on a commercial gym, there's less people, which I love because it's not overcrowded. Sounds nice. Glad you're enjoying it. Had a lot of teeth broken and knocked out. Yeah, I've had a lot of injuries, right? You'd be so tall if only you didn't smoke a pack a day since you were 16. I know. Wait, does that actually stunt your growth, smoking? I mean, I know it's like generally unhealthy for you, but does it stunt your growth? That'd be bad. You know, they used to say like caffeine stunts your growth. I don't think that's true, right? Like, young, really, really young kids should not be having caffeine, but I don't think it actually stunts your growth. Because I think I started drinking coffee when I was like 15, 16 kind of thing. I don't know. Was that bad? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. It's probably fine. There's a lot of there's a lot of weird science myths floating around for sure. You're giving caffeine at a young age. How young? Like 5? It's probably not good for young kids. I don't know why. I mean, it's a pretty strong substance, right? In the grand scheme of things. And also, or maybe the reason is just like you don't want to give it to a 5-year-old and make them like super hyper, right? Like I think if you gave like regarding disregarding any like health effects, they would get so like hyped up, you know, like as a 5-year-old. At 5, I was needed to help you with ADHD. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess that works. Do you guys like coffee's taste? Yes. They have cold plunges in there. One time I got there and the tub was like 40. It lasted like 40 seconds. I cannot do cold baths. Preschool breakfast or a cigarette and a cup of coffee. Delicious. You're not sure what contributed to it the most? The coffee, the smoking, and the lack of nutritious food, but my grandma was only 4'3". Wow. My grandma is really short too. She is definitely a good few inches shorter than me. She's probably like 4'9" or 10 if I had to guess. I don't really know. She's pretty short though. Um, you love coffee, but I'm like, it's like I'm enjoying something I don't like. It's great. What do you mean? Like you love the effects of coffee, but you don't like the taste. But you drink coffee so much, like surely you would have acquired the taste of coffee. You don't like the taste still, but you enjoy it. Maybe you just haven't found the type of coffee you enjoy. What type of coffee are you drinking? Like, are you just drinking like instant coffee? Because that's not good. Like, there's like different roasts, like dark, like no, like not black coffee, but like it's a like dark roast. Like, are you brewing it yourself? Like, what is this process? And welcome in Komodo, 4'8", my grandma, or my height. Like, no, I don't know how tall my grandma is. I'm not 4'8" though. Can confirm. Arabia robust. No, Arabisa. Hmm. Without a shredded dough. Okay, fine. Yokomoto has confirmed my height. You know the typical old coffee machine that's divided into 2 parts. Yeah, the drip coffee. That has like a sandwich form? What? Oh, sandwich? Oh, I thought you were trying to write sandwich. Sandwich, like an hourglass. Yeah, that's just a normal coffee machine, drip coffee. Drip coffee, yeah, that's so but, like, what type of coffee are you putting into it, though? Because like, maybe like, do you like your coffee more bitter or more sour? Because light roasts have, like, a more soury, acidic taste, and dark roasts have a more fuller, more bitter taste. Um, or and then, like, medium roasted in between, obviously. So, like, you could experiment with different types of coffee. Maybe you just haven't found the one you like. Or maybe you just don't like coffee. That could be possible too. No wonder you don't like it. You're making coffee with the sandwich make. How dare! And I was like, I never heard the term sandwich, but then when I thought about it, I was like, oh no, that makes sense. Hourglass. Usually we call it hourglass, which honestly it makes less sense than sandwich. I think sandwich that sounds more descriptive. um, I tried a lot. I don't think you can give me a much different thing. Well, maybe you just don't like it. You tried making cold brew, makes it less sharp, yeah, but then it's cold. So, like, it depends if you want cold coffee or not. And also, cold brew is takes a long time. It takes, like, a full day. But then I guess you can make, like, a bunch, you know? You got an optometrist appointment in an hour, so not here for very long. Good luck. I hope your vision is good. And if they dilate your pupils, good luck. Because they always dilate mine. That's not the machine I use now, though, but it still works. I see. You miss being a coffee enthusiast. Some people, were you like a coffee enthusiast to the point where you're like, you have the scale, you have that like special kettle thingy, that kind of thing? Like, I've never gone that far. I'm a filthy Nespresso machine user. I like my Nespresso machine. Not all that. I mean, I love coffee. I love coffee personally. I like a good cup of coffee. Like, I can appreciate good coffee. Like, I can't drink really awful coffee. It's very hard for me. Like, if there was coffee from, like, a vending machine, like, I can drink it if I'm desperate for caffeine, but, like, I'm not enjoying that. Just really enjoy drinking coffee every morning. Yeah, I think it's nice. There's sometimes I genuinely can't drink it because it tastes horrible because someone messed it up. Yeah, sometimes it's so weak that it tastes like water. That's also bad. And then sometimes it's so disgusting. Like like some coffees are really gross, like really sour, really just some coffee just really tastes like dirty water. And I'm like, I can't really drink that. And if but really, really good coffee is good. Very, very, very insightful commentary from me. Good coffee is good. Yeah, so cheap coffee is for like if I'm very desperate. And I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, but what's everyone been up to this week? I like I said, played Elden Ring yesterday. Been still trying to climb in TFT. I was really struggling for a while, but then the new patch came and I'm doing better on the new patch because there's like different types of comps. Um and previously the previous few patches, there was a lot of reroll comps. Um which is like when you roll a bunch and like get all your units leveled up. Um and I prefer playing high tempo comps. Like I'm very much like in terms of like it's in terms of, like, holding stuff to get the best items or just, like, slamming whatever you can and just, like, force winning. I'm more of, like, that force winning type, so I was not vibing with the reroll meta, but now I'm like, now I'm thriving. I'm very much like, no thoughts, just put whatever I can, you know? And that's really how I like to play. You can think of it in Resident Evil terms, like whether you're more of a Grace player or a Leon player. Starbucks coffee is not coffee, but something I think tastes good. What do you mean Starbucks coffee is not coffee? Or you mean like they're sugary drinks? It can be coffee. Like they have like lattes and stuff, and that's coffee. But some of the drinks don't have any coffee in them. Like some of the frappuccinos don't have coffee. Yeah, like things that have coffee in it though. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was also like I said, I was watching Jacksepticeye play because he was posting like Subnautica 2 just dropped. The early access just dropped for Subnautica 2, which is very exciting. So I was watching him play that because he's like the OG Subnautica guy. And when I finished the Subnautica video, I was like, oh, let me check out his Resident Evil Requiem video. And watching him play, I was like, damn, this is a different game. This is a different game than what I'm playing. Because not only did I do the section with the girl, that big girl, that big lady, completely wrong. Like I was like, not not doing what was intended in that section. I don't know what I was doing. Um, very different vibe. And then when you got to the Leon section, I realized that whole room was like an arena where you could like fight the zombies in. Like you could go up the stairs, you could jump off the edge, you can go around the bookcases, and I was like, I didn't even know that. Like I just stood in that doctor's office, and when the zombies entered my frame of view, I just shot them, and I just made a pile of bodies right there in that spot. And then he was like running around, like you know, going into these different areas. I was like, was there the whole time? I did not know this. So yeah, even that section was very different watching him play. Cause like for me, I just have like I think my main weakness in video games um is like just I have really terrible surround like situational awareness because like in real life like you can see around you quite well, right? But in a game like your frame of view is quite small, and especially in Resident Evil 9 the frame of view is tiny. I don't know why. It's actually like a lot smaller than most games, which is really weird. And there's no like way to adjust it, which is really weird. And apparently a lot of people cannot play Resident Evil because it makes them too motion sick to have such a small frame of view. And I was feeling a bit motion sick as well, honestly. So apparently there's mods that can increase the frame of view, but I might be okay. I might be okay because apparently Resident Evil Village also had a like a smaller frame of view, and I did okay. But Resident Evil 9 apparently is even smaller than that, and I'm like, that's really weird. Cause I definitely noticed it. Cause when I was playing at the start, um, I was when I was walking down the street, people would bump into me, but it looked like the people were like right here. I was like, why are they so close? Just a frame of view. And I also couldn't tell when I was running in the game and versus when I was apparently when you're like tunnel vision like that, you can't see your speed very well because you're like so zoomed in, you know? You can't see. Um, you're a mocha enjoyer, nice. You're about to do something. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, give me 1 second. A cookie crumble mocha frap is great. To me, coffee is only when it has coffee in it. Mocha frap probably has coffee in it. Probably very little coffee. You're so hyped for Subnautica 2, but I don't touch the early access too much because I want to experience the game fresh on full release. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I like watching that game more than playing it. Cause I've played a bit of Subnautica, but maybe it's because I already watched the whole thing. But for me, I was like, I don't feel a strong need to play it. I'm just gonna enjoy the. I'm just excited to see the game. It looks amazing. I won't spoil anything, but I'm just there's nothing really to spoil because I'm not very far into watching it. But it looks incredible. You thinking about streaming Elden Ring in a few months? You're not quite sure it up? Do it. Do it. You have to tell us. You cannot stream in secret. And welcome in Rasu. Hope you're doing well today. Okay, I'll try singing Rewrite the Stars. Um, you beat the first and below zero in hardcore. Damn, that's very impressive. Survival games are your favorite? I like survival games as well. But I just felt like I already experienced everything in in Subnautica on my own or on watching it. Got a new phone? Nice, enjoy. Let me get the Rewrite the Stars karaoke. I think I've sang this before, no? Zendaya sings very low and then she sings very high, and like I don't know what's about that, you know? You're just having a chill weekend since you had minor surgery on Thursday? I hope it went well. I guess you said you took a sick day this week, right? I guess you have a whole long weekend to recover. Good luck. Okay, let me pause this. I hope your recovery goes smoothly. But it sounds like minor. Zendaya? Zendaya is interesting. What does that mean? Her head is very shiny. It's very bothering me. Very much bothering me. Hold on. Too shiny. I thought I made it less shiny, but it's not enough. I think my lights are very bright today because I was trying to overpower the sun. I'm ready for the World Cup next month. We have this like building that's like a ball. It's called Science World, and they're changing it into a soccer ball, which is quite cool. I don't really like the World Cup, but like I don't like the World Cup being here, because it's very expensive and FIFA's kind of scummy, that kind of stuff. But the soccer ball sculpture is very cool. The sun is very big and you aren't. True. It's all good. Just got stitches for 2 weeks now. Okay, that doesn't sound too bad. I'm glad it went well. Okay, let me get. I can't sing this song very well. Just fair warning. It might be a little scuffed. But I'll try my best. That's what matters, right? Let me do a volume check here. Is there sound? Okay, I guess it's fine. You can't either. It's a really hard song to sing. You gave me my work cut out for me. It's also very not in my range. I guess I just sing both parts. No, have to be Zac Efron. I have no idea where I come in. Okay, I come in there. I cannot hear it. Want a different song? I wouldn't mind a different song. Well, what are my other options? Because if we're talking Greatest Showman, I could sing Never Enough. Never Enough would actually be easier, personally. This song is really hard. It's really low. And welcome in, Beppe. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, the World Cup is such a nuisance here. Because if you guys don't know, there's some games in Vancouver, and FIFA is very ridiculous. Like, FIFA is very ridiculous. They're like, oh, when the World Cup is here, like, you cannot have any events for 2 weeks surrounding the World Cup. I'm like, why? Why do you have to demand this? Like, that's so weird. What about a song from Camp Rock 2? I don't think I know any songs from Camp Rock 2. I'm not sure. What is the most famous song from Camp Rock 2? Because I don't know if I've watched Camp Rock 2. What even happened? I remember the first one, the plot. Second one, what happened? Because like surely the camp is over, right? What were they doing in the second one? Must have been like straight to. No, I guess it was on Disney Channel. Um, but yeah, traffic will be really bad. Any Ed Sheeran hit? Okay, anyone in chat have a favorite Ed Sheeran song? The idea of a halftime show at the World Cup is nauseating. They're having BTS and Lisa. Lots of K-pop. Shape of You? Okay. You do Shape of You. That's classic. Are you saying Perfect, the Ed Sheeran song, or are you saying Shape of You is perfect? You're like, good Shape of You. Or are you saying Perfect? 'Cause that's also an Ed Sheeran song. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. No, sorry, I'm just checking the key. Okay, I think the key is probably fine. A lot of Ed Sheeran songs, the key might be hard, but this one I think is fine. Is it a banger? This is my post Ed Sheeran fanness. Or even his first hit? What is his first hit? Like, the A-Team? Classic. Singing out loud? Oh, thinking out loud? Wait, are we gonna choose a song? Uh, thinking out loud. That's a good one, that's a good one. Okay, well, since you redeemed it, we will we will we will do yours. And welcome in Ratsy, happy birthday. Female version. Female key. Okay, well, let me check this female key out. Very important. Piano. Piano karaoke. Is that a good key? Will your eyes no smile from your cheeks? Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. Okay, it's there. You must remember the taste of my love. I just need to find the key. Will your eyes no smile from your cheeks? I think that's what it is. Okay, got it. How dare you not sing the song I chose someone else's redeem? How dare you? You stopped by to keep your streak? Okay, enjoy your birthday. I hope you have great birthday plans. When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet. The key is not locked in. Will you now still remember the taste of my love? Okay, I got it on the chorus. Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. Baby, my heart could still fall as hard at 23. Now I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just the touch of a hand. Me, I fall in love with you every single day. I just wanna tell you I am, honey, now. Take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. Thinking out loud, maybe we found love right where we are. But my hair's all gone and my memory fades, and the crowds don't remember my name. But my hands don't play the strings same way. I know you will still love me the same. 'Cause honey, your soul could never grow old, it's evergreen. Baby, your smile's forever in my mind, in memory. I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's all part of a plan. Oh, I'll just keep on making the same mistakes, hoping that you'll understand. Baby, baby, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. Thinking out loud, maybe we found love right where we are. Good job, piano guy. This is a nice instrumental, actually. I think it still goes. And welcome in, Xiaomai. Baby, now. It's not done, guys. Take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Darling, it's your head on my beating heart. Thinking out loud, maybe we found love right where we are. Baby, we found love right where we are. Maybe we found love right where we are. Yay! Now it's done. Yeah, there's like a instrumental bridge, and then it goes into the main one. Guys, I remember my Ed Sheeran song. This was peak Ed Sheeran time for me. Multiply, like that was my time. I went to that concert. Been a while since I stopped by a stream and I was song redeem at that, of course. Um, there's a female key. I mean, there's every key ever, but someone uploaded a female key, which is nice. I think everyone else has that problem because it's quite a awkward song for women. That always happens with tenors because Ed Sheeran has quite a high voice, so the high parts will be like kind of okay, but then the low parts will be too low. But if you put it up an octave, the high parts are too high. So it's like that. So like when people applaud in a concert when the first movement finishes, always. Whenever there's like a silent part of the song, like if there's like a pause in the song, then it's like people will always clap. But like it's but people always applaud after the movements, no? I mean, I've only been to a few orchestras at a time. I've only been to a few orchestras, sorry, and pretty much every time people clapped in the middle. But then I think usually they tell you like don't clap until we tell you to clap, you know? I can see the confusion though because orchestra songs can sometimes be really long. I can redeem again next time. Okay. I gotta be ready. Gotta learn some Camp Rock 2 songs. I don't think I know any Camp Rock 2 songs. It's a hard sell for me. I think my peak Disney Channel era. I don't know. Peak I mean Hillary Duff. I haven't listened to a lot of Hillary Duff. If that was your time. What else? I don't know. You should clap when the entire concert/piece finishes. When I say concert, I don't mean the whole show. I mean they should, but people always clap in the middle because they don't know that it's not done. Performance of that most Asian countries that don't clap until the end. Oh, interesting. I noticed when I was at the Twice concert that a lot of people were like not a lot of people were like getting up and like dancing around. Like a lot of people were just seated and like clapping along respectfully, which I think is more of a Asian culture thing. So it was like for me, I was like, as someone who hasn't been to an Asian concert, I was like, oh, it feels kind of like dead. Like usually concerts, I felt like were more little more hype than that, but But I also I kind of appreciated it because like if everyone's sitting down, you can see better, and I was like, oh, I guess that's why. Guess you got a movie to watch today? Yeah, I would love to watch Camp Rock 2. Is Demi Lovato in the second one, or is it like a Mean Girls 2 situation where it's like someone totally different? Yeah, I haven't been to the orchestra in a while. I really want to go to the opera, which I guess is kind of orchestra as well, right? Because there's an orchestra playing, but I haven't gotten the chance to. The Jonas Bros too, classic, classic. Oh, I was a big Camp Rock fan. I really was a big Camp Rock fan back in the day. I can't remember the second one. I think I just erased it from my memory. It was not very memorable to me. But yeah, any Ed Sheeran song like before Divide, kind of, kind of. If you guys don't know, before after like he took a long hiatus. And I remember specifically he announced the hiatus on my birthday. I was like, how rude. But yeah, he announced a long hiatus, and it was like can't remember how long it was, maybe like 2 or 3 years. And by the time he came back, I had moved on. I was like no longer a diehard Ed Sheeran fan. Not because I was like, oh, he took a break. Like I think I just like it was like a breakup. Like taking some distance, I became normal again. So it's good. It was a good thing. And then he came back with Divide. But at that point, I wasn't like I said, I wasn't like a diehard Ed Sheeran fan. Like running my Tumblr blog, like it died out, because everyone kind of like fizzled out. I think during the hiatus, my group of my group of Ed Sheeran Tumblr blog friends, um, we all kind of just stopped posting after a while. I remember being High School Musical versus Camp Rock back in the was it? I found like both were popular. I don't think we had like I don't think we had like um rivalries about it. But I was really young. Like when Camp Rock 3 came out, sorry, when High School Musical 3 came out, I think I was really still quite young. I think I was in like 5th or 6th grade. Um, Probably want to confirm that. High School Musical 3. Yeah, 2008. I would have been 9 or 10. I was probably 9. So that's why, like, some parts of High School Musical, especially ones that I've watched later on, like rewatched, are familiar to me. But yeah, I was still quite young, and I didn't like watch it like a million times in a row to like really remember it. Um, like Hilary Duff, I still remember the songs, but it's because like I listen to Hilary Duff like every day, like to the point where my mom got me like a Discman because she was like, please stop playing Hilary Duff. Like she was like, I'm sick of it. But you were younger. No, I'm 20. I'm 27. But still pretty young when High School Musical came out. Like apparently High School Musical 1 came out in 2006. I don't think I was watching that as it aired, right? Because I would have been like 7. It's a little young to enjoy High School Musical. I think. I think it's more of like I was still watching like Caillou or Dora the Explorer at that age. No. But I think maybe I got into it later. Yeah, it's what were the big things when I mean, maybe don't respond if you're like literally 10 years old right now, but like what were the big things when you're growing up? Because I think when I was in 5th grade, I remember Twilight being big. But then by the time 6th, 7th grade rolled around, I would say everyone was really into Hunger Games. Hunger Games was a big thing at that time. Um, I'm not really sure after that. But yeah, I remember when like Twilight, Hunger Games. What else? My school was not Harry Potter. Yeah. I think maybe Harry Potter, at least for my Canadian school, was a little before my time. I mean, I guess Lord of the Rings was also before your time, as old as you are. Um, but yeah, I think are kids reading Lord of the Rings? Aren't they really long? I guess Harry Potter's fairly long, but by the time the kids are older, they can read the last books. No, because I only knew one Harry Potter fan actually. Because my one of my close friends was a Harry Potter fan, but she read it with her family. And so she really liked Harry Potter, and but I didn't know anyone else who really liked Harry. I guess it really wasn't a big thing in Canada at that time. The films came out when I was a teenager. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, I don't know how old I was when the films came out. I was not following it. For me, it's all a blank. Wait, but you said you remember High School Musical versus Camp Rock. But I don't know. I think yeah, I think High School Musical was not really a huge trend for me. Um, I don't know. I have no idea. I guess yeah, it is hard to remember what was like really popular. You can't think of one, really? Like Harry Potter is big. It's like really well known, but I think it wasn't like a childhood sensation at my when I was a kid. Like the books were still really well known, obviously, but it wasn't like it was in like the UK, for example. Like the UK, I think even now it's still huge, which makes sense because it's like a British thing. I specifically remember as a kid, I tried to read the first Harry Potter book, and I just didn't like it. I was like, I'm gonna go back to reading my Warrior Cats book. Super into Warrior Cats. I was actually thinking last night. I was like, I wonder if someone's done like a Warrior Cats book recap on YouTube. I'm sure someone has, right? Oh, but what if that person's a furry? It could be a furry. That's okay. That's okay. I'll watch a video from a furry. Some furries make great YouTube videos unrelated. But yeah, I was a really big fan of Warrior Cats. I think those books are good. And also there's a lot of good children's books for sure. How old was I during Harry Potter? I don't know when Harry Potter 1 came out. Harry Potter films? Oh, the first film was 2001. We were way too young. Okay, no wonder they weren't that famous. Cause like I would have been too young to watch the first movie. Obviously, I was like a baby. Um, films. Yeah, the last one came out in 2011. So at that age, I would have been Harry Potter watching age. Well, they really came out every year too. Honestly, very well done. Like, um, it's they really like planned this out. They're like, okay, the kids are gonna grow up too fast. Like, it's gonna be like we need to make these movies every year. They really should have done that with Stranger Things, huh? What? When in 2001? Uh, November. Were you born in 2001? You also grew up during peak Pokemania. Yeah, I don't think I did. Well, we had Tamagotchis. Tamagotchis was really big when I was like in grade 1 or 2. And there was these things, they're called peekapoos. I don't know if these were famous popular anywhere else. There was these like in the gotcha machines at the mall. You could get these Winnie the Poohs and they were dressed in different outfits. Like you get Winnie the Pooh and then it would be wearing like it would just be like a rubber kind of outfit around it and it would have like different ones. It would be like, oh, this is like he's dressed like a bumblebee, he's dressed like a leprechaun or like something like that. So it's what am I trying to say? Like they were very those were very popular. But I don't know if they were popular anywhere else. But I specifically remember this. In 2012, the Fast and Furious hype was crazy. Tried reading Harry Potter after the movies and did not finish the first book. Yeah, I couldn't get into it either. But I think I tried reading it. I was very young. I think I might have tried reading it a little too young. But I'm not a huge like. I wasn't really like a huge like fantasy fan. I would say like I like the animal ones, but maybe not fantasy like magic, elves, whatever. I'm still not a fan. Maybe if I had read Harry Potter the correct age and got into it, then I would be a fantasy fan now, but I'm really not. Don't really like fantasy, sci-fi, that kind of thing. Furry talk? You like furry talk? I thought furries were more into anthropomorphized animals. Aren't the warrior cats just like house cats? Yeah, they're like actual cats. But I thought furries would like that. You know, because they're like cats with like a full enriching life, you know? Like they're like furries. I think they're only anthropomorphized because the humans have to wear them, no? Or are they specifically into fursuits? I thought they like wanted to be an animal. Is that not it? Did I misunderstand furries this whole time? They specifically like the ones that stand on two legs? You're early 2001. I'm the youngest one here. Am I not? I would not ask that. Would not ask that because someone's gonna be like, "Oh no, I'm 12." Guys, if you're underage, do not post your age. Don't ask me. Hey, you should know deeply about the furry. You're the one who said, aren't they about anthropomorphized animals?" Did you ever read the Red Wall books? I've never heard of the Red Wall books. What is that? Yeah, so I like the Warrior books, which is they had a lot of books, by the way. Which is about like, well, originally it's about this house cat, and then he goes into the wild and he meets a colony of wild cats, and they have like a whole society. There's like different clans, and they're like kind of at odds with each other, and each clan has like a leader. They have like a doctor cat. They have like different roles. Like they have hunter cats. They have at home cats. I don't really know what all their roles are, but they have like a structure. And then like they get like a name. They get like a name at each level. Like it's like, oh, like when they're really young, they're like he's like his prefix, his first given name is like fire. So like if he's a baby, he's like fire paw. And then like once he grows up, he's like they give him like a different suffix. Like it's like a fire leaf or something like that. Um and so and then there's like a whole structure to this society, okay? But they're cats. You're learning new things today. You guys need to know about the warrior cat structure, okay? Another popular series with animals as a character. I didn't read that one. I read one with owls. There's one about owls called Guardians of Gahul. And they also, it was an owl colony, and they also had structure. These were this type of book was very popular, I guess. You're back. What did you miss? We're just talking about like whether Harry Potter was popular growing up for you guys, or like what media was popular, like really trendy when you're a kid. We went to the bookshop. We had a shelf just for Warrior Cats books. Yeah, they were really popular, and they're by Aaron Hunter. But turns out Aaron Hunter is like three different people, and they all just write the books together. But honestly, pretty well done. Like, uh, I don't. I think it's a pretty good books. But they're kids books. They're definitely kids books. I liked that when I was like 10. You really like Zack and Cody? Oh, I don't watch Zack and Cody that much. You guys know, I was a huge Wizards of Waverly Place fan. Only watched Wizards of Waverly Place and iCarly. Obviously Lizzie McGuire when I was younger, but in my memory, Wizards of Waverly Place. And I recently rewatched it like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and it still holds up. It's still really good. Like genuinely, even as an adult, you can enjoy that show. Pretty good. When I was a kid, everything y'all know and love today, origins probably started when I was a kid. That's not true. That's not true. Cartoons were huge in my childhood. Yeah, I think I didn't watch that many cartoons, honestly. I think I was more of a Disney Channel kid. You did give us Wizards of Waverly Place vibes. What does that mean? I guess I did like fantasy because I was watching a show about wizards. I was like, guys, I don't like fantasy shows, but like it was about wizards to be fair. But it was set in the modern world. But there are like elves. To be fair, there's like elves and like other fantasy things, you know? And Welcome in Law. But I get the feeling that made you resonate with Alex and with she's my role model, man. I didn't turn out as mean as her, honestly, but I wanted to be her. I thought she was so cool. I was like, damn, I should wear 3 layers of clothing and put my wand in my boot, you know? I thought she was really cool. So you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And I told you guys. I, like, printed out all the spells, like, I made, like, a spell book. I, like, printed out all the spells used in Wizards of Waverly Place, and me and my friends would play Wizards in her basement. And then we would, like, we'll go through the spell book and be like, "Oh, we need to use this spell." I guess we're pretty nerdy, huh? Pokemon, 3D Zelda, peak anime, internet cell phones, Magic the Gathering, Gotcha Zirconia. Oh, I'm glad. 3D gaming. You only listed gaming things. What about Disney Channel? Although Disney Channel was very around in the 90s too, to be fair. Um, that's the Disney equivalent of middle schoolers practicing the hand signs from Naruto. What is the hand signs from Naruto? I thought people were doing the running. Oh my god, okay, I don't even want to know. Apparently I don't know enough about Naruto. Yeah, I was not a weeb. Hands, oh my god, Ricky knows what this means. Oh god. Anyone who knows what the hand signs are or is outing yourself as a weeb. 'Cause I have no idea what that is. Um, but yeah, I would say, um, I can appreciate things have paving the way. Like I can appreciate the 90s Zelda games for paving the way. But I would say a lot, not always, but a lot of times they improve, they iterate and keep improving upon the design, and then you end up with Breath of the Wild, the masterpiece. You still remember them, Ricky, erase them from your mind. You should see the hand signs on YouTube. I will not. I will stay away from this, okay? I think the origin of all that started during your childhood. Fair enough, fair enough. It just keeps getting refined. Yeah, yeah. No, no, I totally get that. Like, I can appreciate old games having paved the way. Would I play them? Would I be able to play them? No. I would not make it through. But I can appreciate it. I can appreciate good game design. And, like, they're very innovative. And it's even, like, as much as I wouldn't play, like, the original Pokemon Red and Blue, it's very impressive, no? Like, it's, like, the fact that they coded that all in assembly on 1 megabyte or whatever. I can't remember what it actually was, but, like, and it's, like, they're very creative back in the day, right? Like, they coded this all like this, and then um they came up with, like, random encounters because they couldn't load stuff in the overworld. I'm like, very, very, very clever. But some might argue, no longer necessary, you know? Like, I think there's a lot of things that were relics of the past. Like, they were, like, they they made random encounters because they couldn't load stuff in the overworld. But now we can. Why do we still have random encounters? You know what I mean? I remember the congestion fancy word thing, and it's completely irrelevant to me. I can't help it. Sometimes you remember stuff about me, and I don't even remember. And I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about, Ricky?" And he's like, "Oh, remember I said we said this?" And I was like, "Oh, I remember now." Your memory is crazy. I think we peaked as a society already. Straight up plateau. Nah, nah. I disagree. I know you. That's the sign that you're getting old, Chicano. Yeah, there's lots of new stuff that's really great. I thought you loved Resident Evil 9. You don't think um they're improving over time? I guess not always. Not always. There's not always like a increase. Like it's not always like a linear progression. You know, obviously the games can get worse and then they can get better. Um, but I think overall gaming as a whole, there's so much now, right? Like um, even if a lot of AAA games have not been as good recently, um, a lot of really amazing indie games coming out month after month, you know, like year after year, amazing, amazing games. Um, or even AAA games. There's a lot of really great ones. You'll become one of us? No, no, no. It's a refined version of what's already invented. Like nothing innovative is speaking to me. I mean, yeah, that is true because it becomes harder and harder to make something completely new. But I think you should. Well, firstly, you cannot say that as someone who says I only play games made in Japan because you're very much restricting yourself. Um, like I said, lots of amazing indie games doing lots of creative things, and you won't play them because they're American. Would you ever pick up the Devil May Cry games? I don't know anything about them. Are they like a hack and slash game? I don't know. I'd have to look in. I don't know anything about them. I always get them confused with Bayonetta. That's not the same game, right? I guess Japan still uses fax machines. Maybe they're behind. They are behind. They're very okay. Japanese games, they're very creative in some ways. They're very creative in some ways, and they really push the boundaries. Like for example, like Breath of the Wild, incredible, paved the way. But in some things, they're so behind. And sometimes they're very like stubborn. Like that's like the culture. They're like, oh, like we got to stick with these ways. Um, and it depends what it is. They're very behind in some ways. I think in terms of indie games, um, like the Western market is really ahead. Maybe I just don't know enough Japanese indie games, but I think there's just a larger market, in the West. Lots of cool stuff. It's Capcom, I believe. People say it's similar to Bayonetta. I don't know if I would enjoy it personally. Maybe. I never played a game like that. They were doing their banking on the Famicom in the 1980s. Very innovative. Interesting. 80s, 90s Japanese invention or peak innovation. Some of the stuff is like, why did they invent this? But yeah, I getcha. Bayonetta, you definitely not. Okay, I'll trust Ricky. Ricky says I won't like it, so I won't play it. I won't waste my money on it. I remember seeing this one book at a Japanese bookstore that's like 100 useless Japanese inventions. At least they tried, You gotta fail some to win some. But yeah, they're definitely. Japan is weird because they're like very ahead in some ways and very behind in other ways. So it's very strange. But in terms of like technology, definitely games are doing a lot of cool things. Like I think Resident Evil 9 looks incredible. The main thing actually, Resident Evil 9, the lighting is amazing. The lighting is beautiful. Um, the only thing I would fault Resident Evil 9 on in terms of graphics is I would say the facial models. Not the facial models, but the facial animations. Something about the facial animations is not right. It's like something isn't there like a lot of games really struggle, I think, with facial animation. Some games do it really well. Um, but a lot of games are still a little stiff. They still look a little robotic. And that really took me out of it. Like Grace's voice actor was giving the performance of her life when her mom died. But then like the face that she made when Alyssa got attacked was like so weird looking. Like it was like bizarre looking that I was like, it just took me out of it. I was like, dude, why did they give her that? One thing was the thing you wear on your face to keep ramen broth from splashing on your clothes and face. That's good. But I actually always splashes on me. Can I get that for you for your birthday? Thank you. And when they're sweaty, it looks like they're under. Okay, yeah, the sweat is a little overboard. I'm like, who is sweating that much? Like they must have. She must have some sort of condition. She must have some sort of sweating condition because like she's really sweating. Depending on the Resident Evil engine. No, the engine is amazing. The facial animations are the only thing I could fault it on. Like I said, the lighting is incredible. Um, that's the main thing. The lighting is crazy. Um, hyperthyroid or hyperhidrosis representation. Yeah, they got a different representation. Maybe Victor cold plunged her. Perhaps. Maybe he has a little spray bottle. Who knows? What's the hardest game you've played and finished? Um, maybe Elden Ring. Elden Ring's pretty hard. Have I played any other hard games? I haven't finished Cuphead. Cuphead's pretty hard. But you can't beat Resident Evil 2. She quit. Yeah, if we're including games I haven't. Resident Evil 2 was a true test of my patience. Okay, but I do like Elden Ring. But I still wonder. Like I said, I was playing it yesterday, And then it makes me wonder, like, how did I ever get through the game? Like, I guess just pure determination. That's how I got through the game, because like, I'm not that good at the game. Pure spite, I guess so. I think I just have a lot of patience. Miji can't beat Resident Evil 2. Oh, I just read that. Yeah, Resident Evil 2. I'm so sorry. I know there's a lot of fans of Resident Evil 2, and I know it ties directly into Leon's story in Resident Evil 9. I w- I would rather um build a house of cards until it doesn't fall down than play Resident Evil 2. I don't know why that's what I came up with, but that's what I came up with. Gonna try Elden Ring, but I didn't finish Sekiro, which I told is similar but harder. No, Sekiro easier. Sekiro is way harder. Elden Ring is so much easier, and Sekiro is famously the hardest one, I think. And also Elden Ring, you could always, since it's an open world game, you can always like level up and go back to certain bosses, or you can tackle bosses a different order. As someone who sucks at games, you've watched me play, okay? I don't know. If you've watched me play any game, you'll know that I'm very terrible at games. And I finished Elden Ring, so I believe that you can do it. But only if you're interested in it. If you like the boss fights, if you like the world, if you like the open world, um, then definitely worth it. It's a great game. You played and finished Sekiro? No, but it is known to be one of the hardest ones. Because Elden Ring is considered one of the easiest from soft games, just because you can like, go and level up. It's not like linear, right? In Sekiro, you can't just like, go and get a different weapon, like, like, or maybe you probably can, but Elden Ring has a lot more freedom to just like, you could grind to like level 100 before you fight the first boss if you wanted to. Um, I wouldn't recommend that, but you could. Hard-headed attitude. I am very hard-headed, yeah. Which does not vibe with the Resident Evil 2 gameplay, because you cannot brute force those puzzles. Actually, you can though if you guess the 1 in 81 chance. What are you LARPers gonna do when you can't play Duskblood because no Switch 2? I'm gonna see what Duskblood is like first. But I might get a Switch 2 because, well, I know his dad has a Switch 2. Um and and I do want to play Pocopia. So if Duskblood looks really good, then it's probably worth like playing Pocopia and also Duskblood. Because I did like Night Rain, so I don't know what they're gonna do that's like different from Night Rain. We'll see. I want to try Sekiro, but I'm probably just gonna be disappointed. I think you'd like it because you like combat and it's weeby because it's like a samurai. You could try it. I'm sure one of your friends is like really into FromSoft games, right? I guess if you were gonna try one, Sekiro would be the one because it's not LARPy. Sekiro makes me feel like a loser and rethink my life decisions. Okay, maybe you need a stronger mental to play Elden Ring. I think you gotta look internally here. Because you will die a lot. Means you're gonna play Tomodachi Island. I don't have plans to. You're waiting for Onimusha? That's about as FromSoft as I get. I don't know what that is. Is it wrong to get a game for free if I had it before on console? I think it depends on the game. I have no problem with pirating games, but probably not indie games. Um, at this point, I have bought Stardew Valley like 6 times. But that's Stardew Valley. It probably depends on the game. I started Sekiro, it's quite good, but never finished it because while it's released, I think I should finish it before Elden Ring. It's up to you. Up to you. There's no like order of things, right? Like they're not like, oh, you should play this first. If you just want to finish it off the game because you already started it, then fair enough. They're very different. Like I think going like Elden Ring and Sekiro are very different. Like Elden Ring is more similar to like Elden Ring is more similar to like Dark Souls. than it is to Sekiro. And then Bloodborne is kind of its own thing. I still want to start to stream Bloodborne. Tried Neo, found Halalarpy despite its feudal Japan. No. Yeah, so I'm not huge into like I don't like exploring Elden Ring's world because personally I think it's really ugly, which is not it's not supposed to be like beautiful by any means because it's supposed to be like a horrible, awful place. But yeah, I don't really like exploring them much. And I don't like castles. I don't like yeah, I don't like castle atmos like like gothic architecture or whatever. Need a game that's for normies. Elden Ring is for normies. Trust. I mean, Elden Ring is like super popular now. Um, like a European dude in feudal Japan. What the hell? Are you climbing high in TFT? No, I'm in plat. I thought I would at least make it to Emerald really easily, but I got really stuck the last 2 patches. Apparently, I suck at reroll, is what I found out. And now there's a lot of fast 8 comps, so I'm actually doing really well now. I got a bunch of firsts, got some seconds. Where I think I'm doing okay now. I've been playing Asol, LeBlanc. I would like to play Corky Riven at some point, but everyone's contesting it, so I've not really gotten to play it properly. But yeah, it's I think I'm doing a lot better now that it's fast 8. I'm such a fast 8 player. Any Souls-like games are not normally friendly. No, but like everyone played Elden Ring, no? Like it was very Elden Ring is definitely the most accessible one, but yeah. If you don't want a Souls-like game, then that is not the play. I don't know what the normie game is now. Resident Evil? Resident Evil's pretty popular. That game, Pragmata? That one's popular too. You even tried, yeah, even Chicano played Elden Ring and he hates any games like that. He even tried it. And that's a really high bar. Um, Pragmata's for the normies for sure. Yeah, it seems like a normal game. No, it's like for me, it's like I have these categories of games that are like, oh, you go through this. There's like a pretty decent story you go through, and then you fight stuff in the middle. For me, that's like a lot of games. No, that's like you could just grab like 70% of games like that. Beat this one dude on the bridge and was like, "This game's too easy," and went back to Breath of the Wild combat. Right, okay. I think you were just scared. I think you were just scared that you're, you know, that you would have a hard time with the game. 'Cause it's very different. You gotta fight some bosses at least. Okay. I'm just gonna do a quick BRB. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Enjoy the Mallow Mart in the meantime. You're scared you might buy a booster pack of magic. That's a very valid fear. Okay, BRB. Okay, I'm back. You're making spaghetti noodles for meal prep next week, but I might have made enough for 2 weeks. Wait, you're making the noodles from scratch? Damn, that sounds really good. Yeah, as soon as I left the room and came back, I could smell how stinky the curtains are. I might like leave the window open while I go to Pilates and hopefully the smell will air out of the curtains or something. I don't know. I wish I could wash them, but I can't. You made the curtains stinky. No, they came stinky from IKEA. They smell like the factory or something. I don't know. Cause I would love to wash them, but I can't. Cause they will shrink again. Do you have any baking soda handy? Yeah, I could baking soda them, but then they'd be all like there'd be baking soda everywhere. Cause they're already on the wall, and I don't really want to take them down. I might just try airing it out. I did buy them a week ago though, and they're still stinky. I didn't hang them up till yesterday, so maybe once once they're hung up for a while, then they might go away. The smell might go away. It smelled like nothing when you got them. Right, right. It just well then why would I have smelled it when after I left the room, you know? Yeah, Pilates this week, but I don't have Pilates next week. Also don't have my piano lesson this week because it's a holiday. So I have extra time to practice. And I found out that my piano pref- preferences my piano yeah, my piano preferences have not changed since I was a kid. I still like playing the same stuff. Fabric spray, I guess so, but then I'm worried like if I spray it, wouldn't it just mask the smell? Does it get rid of the smell? I don't know how the spray works. You gonna play that Joe Hisaishi song for me? Is that one harder? Cause you link an orchestra. I don't know what the piano arrangement sounds like. But the two Zonar Con or whatever it's called, that one's really easy. So I don't know if the other one's harder. If it's really easy, I could just learn it pretty fast, like in one sitting. It's from House Moving Castle. I don't know what's considered hard for any instrument. I think I saw Faker play that one. I think so. I think that's the one. I saw Faker playing the piano, and I was curious. I was like, is Faker good at the piano? He's not that good at the piano. That's okay. He's busy. But I think he played that one. Yeah, I'll try opening the window, letting the air out, and then if it doesn't work, maybe baking soda. I don't know. How am I gonna just splash baking soda all over my curtains while they're hanging on the wall? That's a bit annoying. They're gonna be all dusty. He has other talents he can lean on, like acting. They finally released the whole Faker and Karina from aespa ad. It's so funny. He's literally just like rage baiting her the whole time. Like I can't remember the first scene, but I think he like this new jeans. Yeah, this is how sweet. Um, what was I gonna say? I say merry-go-round is a bit more complicated, but on the same level, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, okay. Well, then you could choose Chicano. But yeah, he basically the ad it's like it kind of plays like a rom-com kind of trope where he sees her and he's like, oh, I saw her for the first time, and then I knew I, as a man, Lee Sang-hyuk, um, as soon as I saw her, I knew, and then like he grabs her arm and he says like, oh, like okay, in Korean and Japanese, you don't use a pronoun, so it's like he says like blank like you or love you, and she's like, what? Are you confessing to me? And he's like, I love games. he's like, oh, I love games. Do you also like gaming? And she's like, what the hell is this guy? He's so weird. And then um he like takes her to this like Google Play convention or something like that, and he plays games, and she just has to watch and like hold all his bags. And she's like really mad. She's like, what the hell? This guy sucks. Um and then And then what else? And what is the other ones? Oh yeah, they're at the PC cafe and she walks in and he's like, "Oh, I should have known I'll see her again. All roads lead her to me." I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so funny." Um, and then he like eats all their food at the PC cafe. He's like, "Oh, can I try a bit?" And then she's like, "Oh, okay." And then he eats all of it twice. He's very mean. And she's like, "What the hell is wrong with this guy?" And then later on, he sees her on the subway, and there's that like K drama moment. Also welcome in Demero. What happened to those girls? No idea. He's good enough at least to get a pass from the Korean military service. Faker would be too OP if he was also good at piano. I'm sure he'd be good if he practiced, but he probably has a lot of, he's busy with other things. um, he clearly has good hand dexterity, you know? It's from those ads, yes. And then the next one, he sees her on the subway, and there's a K-drama moment where she gets bumped into by someone and she's falling. And he's like running, and you're like, oh, he's gonna save her. No, he catches the phone. The guy dropped his phone. He catches the phone. Karina falls down, and he hands the phone back to that guy, and he's like, I got you. Don't worry. And she's like, and then she's really mad at him because he didn't save her. And then in the last one, she's at a cafe and she runs into an old acquaintance. And apparently they had some sort of thing in the past, and he's like about to confess to her. He's like, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. Do you think, oh, like, um, do you want to like maybe, this week maybe?" And then he's about to like ask her out, right? And she's like, "Oh, gonna ask me out." And then Faker shows up at the window, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's Faker!" And then it ruins her romantic moment. Yeah, Faker's just like actually just trolling her the whole time, which is really funny. And welcome in, Puppet. Hope you're doing well. You saw that one of the one falling was so funny. I was like, he's gonna catch the phone. I was like, I already saw it. I saw where these ads are going. He's gonna catch the phone. He actually is such a menace. He plays the role well. You watched the film Perfect Blue? That anime movie is freaking wild. Y'all ever seen it? No, I haven't seen it. Is it new or is it? It sounds like it's old. Rolled and everything. Apparently, he's known for rolling. I didn't know this. I only knew about his pose. That one. And she's like, "Stop doing that! Stop shushing me!" He's like, he keeps shushing because that's his signature pose. Um, I only knew that one and the all roads lead to me. Because I think it was like Worlds like last year or the year before, or maybe just says it all the time. I don't know. Um, he's like the goat of League, like right. He's like the main guy. So he's like, all roads lead to me. um, Karina and Faker on variety show. It's an interesting duo. It's on a variety show. It was just an ad for Google Play. 1997. Think you'd like it. It's insane. It's about a J-pop idol being stalked by a creeper, but it's like super psychological. I can't watch that, man. I can't watch stuff like that. I'll be like so paranoid. Are y'all into League? I'm not super into League. Right now I'm really into TFT. Adjacent. But I do know about League. And welcome in Coop. Hope you're doing well today. It'd probably freak you out, never mind. Yeah. I think like for me, like I said, like um with horror stuff, like there's like fun horror, like oh, like Five Nights at Freddy's, like an animatronic's gonna kill you, or like Alien, the alien's gonna kill you, and then there's like oh, like you might become like stalked by some crazy man as a woman. I'm like that's a little too close to home. Like that could actually happen to me, and does happen to many women. So that's like that's like a little too close to home. Like at that point it's not very fun to watch anymore. It's a little scary. Like if there was a horror movie where like some guy like puts like spikes someone's drink, it's like okay, I guess that's scary, but like it's not. Am I having fun? No. Maybe if the guy stalking her was like a demon or something, like then maybe that's less scary. Is it fun you've never played? I think if you like games like that, it can be fun. Speaking of horror movies, everyone's saying about that new Obsession movie thing is mad good. I don't really follow horror movies. I don't know. Don't really know what's going on. I like the series, like the Get Out series, but I couldn't watch Us for the same reason. It was like the house break in. Like it really freaked me out. I don't like movies about home invasions because, like, again, too real. Like then I'm like, okay, that could actually happen. True story horror is never fun. Tell that to all the true, what are they called? The true horror people, or real horror. I can't remember what it's called. The real horror stories, real crime story, true crime, true crime. Tell that to all the true crime people. Got 94%. That's super high for horror. I see. I see. I don't really. I don't watch that many horror movies, but I did. I love. I think I actually I like Nope more than Get Out. It's only ones I've watched recently though. It's not even that recent. The imagery is wild though, but horror could mean different things. Yeah, I mean, I like a good horror game. I'm playing Resident Evil. Although Resident Evil is not that scary because Chicano really hyped it up, but I think Chicano's just a baby. And he's like, Resident Evil 9 is so scary. It has not really been that scary so far. No, but to be fair, everything is less scary when you play with chat. Cause like, how can I be scared when you guys are just like making weird jokes in the, yeah, when everyone's making all the jokes in the chat, like it takes me out of it, but it's funny. I like it. And yeah, and it's daylight. It's like I'm playing 9 a.m. 9 a.m. horror game. Get Out was scary to me because it hit close to home. Do I even want to know what that means? Um, I like Barbarian. Girl sees an ominous, creepy door in the Airbnb's basement and literally says, "No, thank you." Valid, valid. Um, you can fix her. Who? We helped keep it still. I mean, to be fair, Resident Evil is pretty goofy though, in general. Like it can have its horror moments for sure. Like I will say, even Resident Evil 4 wasn't scary at all, but the regenerator section, the lying down guy, was really scary. Um, and then the baby section in Resident Evil 8 was quite scary. Yeah, 9 a.m. horror. It's not good. You should have redeemed this song. Oh my god. Do you hate me, Young? Left 4 Dead 2 is scary, especially when you accidentally upset the crazy lady. Accidentally upset that crazy lady who screams and attacks you. I mean, like, um, I definitely can get scared by horror games. Alien, especially the Hive section. Alien was very scary. Um, and I'm sure if I played like Outlast, I would be terrified. Why did Leon? I like the accent, Leon. Give Grace the Requiem with a single bullet. Yeah, why did he give the other gun? What's his problem? And why? Not even the bullet. Like, why did he give her that massive gun? Like, legitimately. Like, he's like, oh, you're a small girl who is probably not trained to use this like massive caliber gun. It's like a shotgun in the hand. Let me give you this one instead of the one that's like way easier to use. That's the type of comment you get when the scary late. Oh, true, true, yeah. Everyone's always saying I could fix her. Dear Fresh, I feel like I'm on a crazy delay. Yeah. I feel like it would fit you. It's so hard to sing, Young. It's a crazy song to sing. I have sung it before though, but I cannot sing it well because it's very high. It's very low and very high, similar to Rewrite the Stars. But this one's arguably harder. Definitely harder. There's a mod where you can turn Marie into a xenomorph. That'd be nice. Um, because Marie was in the other jail, the other jail cell, right? Or was she? She wouldn't have fit through that hole, was she? I thought she was another one. Maybe she left and then she changed into that. Possible. She just grew a lot. That's not confirmed to deny, but it seems that way. I guess she was a little girl and then she grew into a big girl. She would be crying, but the second you shoot her at her, she will die. She will die. She will attack you. Okay, sorry. Not confirmed. Or sorry, I just read that. If y'all could, what kind of movie would y'all make and why? I would make a coming of age film. That's my favorite type of film. I would definitely do that. Would not make a horror movie. I would not be good at making a horror movie. I don't think I'd be good at making any movie, but if I had to pick, I'd make a coming of age movie because that's my favorite. Those movies are the best. What's the plot? I mean, coming of age movies don't really have plots, no? Like not significantly. It'd just be about a girl who would do stuff. I don't know. Romantic comedy. You're a romance guy and you like bad jokes. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, Resident Evil. It really is so goofy. But I really love how campy it is. But it's it does drive me crazy sometimes, but I do love how campy it is. I have a very love-hate relationship with Resident Evil. I think if I just played through it myself without like Gwen or without like people who really like the game or people watching me play the game, I would not have gotten through it personally, I think. But I'm glad I did. Seems she's good for Malvika, Arca Arlecchino. She's like sorry for the Genshin talk, but she is like kind of not an upgrade for anyone, I would say, except for Varka. But you don't have to use Bennett, which is good. But she's definitely much worse for Malvika, which is the problem. But she has a shield, which is nice. And you don't have to stay in the circle, which is nice. She doesn't use energy, like you don't have to use a burst, which is nice for Sijian, for example. But she will not be stronger for anyone except Varka. You'll be taking a damage loss for comfort. Or if you want to use like you're doing Abyss and like you want Bennett on both teams. It would be something like that. But Malvika would be even better just using Eon-san. Resident Evil is like, man, this is horrible, and then it shows you it gets worse. That's it. I think it's kind of fine. It's just kind of like stuff just keeps happening. Like Resident Evil is just like stuff is happening. Like it's just like I'm like it's nonsensical. Like you're like, oh, I'm going down this minecart and I'm shooting people on the minecart, and then this guy is jumping over me, doing a full vertical leap over me. What's going on? And then there's like a sea monster, and then there's this big crab monster, and then there's like this whatever. It's like it's just like what is going on? Just stuff is happening. It's fun. Like man, that's crazy, but it's just the tip of the iceberg once you find out more. Yeah. So I know there's a lot of lore. I think a lot of times though, like people confuse a good story with good lore. Like I think a game can have good world building because in my experience so far, obviously I haven't played every Resident Evil game. I understand that there's good world building and there's like a really deep lore behind it, but the story itself is kind of like nonsensical. I mean, it makes sense, but it's like I wouldn't say it is a like some games have like I wouldn't say have a good story, but they have a good lore. It's Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight has great lore, no story. Like yeah, same with like Elden Ring, for example. I think people really confuse sometimes. Like it has really deep world building, so much lore. But is the story comprehensible to someone just playing the game? No, not at all. 'Cause I think, like, as someone who has not dived into Resident Evil, the story is just, like, stuff is happening. There's, like, a vague semblance of a plot line, but is there actually, like, a strong narrative? No. Right? There's no strong narrative, there's no really character development of any kind. It's just stuff to service the action. Hong Kong also has a well-built lore, and they probably do have a story, though. It's ongoing. Yeah, but I don't think any of the games are known for being, like, particularly well written. So I just got got carded buying beer with your son. Oh no! The cashier said, "I thought you're older than I thought. Figured you're gonna be younger since you're with them." And I said, "That's my son." Your son must have been. Was your son upset? Because that happened to my friend and her mom were traveling, and people thought they were friends, uh, but she was not. She was like, "What? How could you think my mom was my age?" Either they think your son looks really old, or you think you look really young, or both. Probably a combination of both. Yeah, so I think a lot of games have that, but not every game needs like I think Resident Evil would be very bogged down if it focused a lot on story. Like I've had really really heavy story elements, like and like character development and like all this like in like Leon had this like whole internal thing going on. Like I think that would really hold back the game. Your cousin is your age and her son is 22. I mean, yeah, I guess you could have your kids young to be fair, but like still, I presumably have at least like 16, 18 years, even at the worst, right? Like even at the youngest, you probably have at least that much age gap, and you'd think they'll be able to see that, but maybe not. Depends on the person, I guess. Maybe that'd be wild having kids that age before 40. I mean, yeah. Like I'm 27. I do not feel prepared to have a child right now. Um, I'll recommend Resident Evil 4 to everyone. That game kind of works standalone and so campy and fun. Yeah, I think if you just like to me, Resident Evil 4 feels like an arcade game. Um, Obviously it's a lot more like longer and in depth than an arcade game, but it kind of has that vibe, right? Um, and I never really played a game like that before, so I did enjoy it for the most part. Like there were some points where I was getting a little like I said before, like there's some points where I'm like, oh, like it's getting a little tedious. Like there's a little too much going on, like one after another. But I think overall it's just a fun time. And I do think Resident Evil 9 would be fine as well. Because a lot of people were like, I saw a lot of people. So I keep getting Resident Evil posts recommended to me on Reddit. But yeah, some people are like really upset that people will play Resident Evil 9 before Resident Evil 2 or 4. Um, but I think it's fine. I mean, I haven't finished the game. Maybe there's some like really big moments or whatever, but like I'm sure people can still enjoy it. Um, Having just playing Resident Evil 9. I'm sure there's references that I will miss. But I think it would still be an enjoyable experience if you like the gameplay. I've been confused as Kimmy's little sis dad multiple times. Why am I getting the opposite experience? Oh no. I guess because people just assume, right? Like they're like, oh, like I see a guy with like a young girl, probably. But then like you don't look old enough to be a dad. People are just terrible at guessing ages. Um, Even people can play games outside the Leon titles. You think Leon's I mean, yeah, people can play games outside. No, but I think people meant like in order to play 9, the story is directly relevant to Resident Evil 2 and 4. Leon's license plate is like 2469 or something. Oh, because is that all the games he's in? I saw a lot of people talking about Resident Evil 6. Is there a remake for Resident Evil 6? Because I know a lot of people don't like it. But apparently it's like very action heavy, right? Like it's like the most action of the Resident Evil games. I feel like I would like it. But really, maybe it really does suck. I don't know what sucks about it though. I think a lot of people don't like it because they don't like Resident Evil going full action. But I do like full action. Someone got annoyed with me the other day because I guessed his age correctly. Why? Does he not want to look his age? It's probably because I'm with Kimmy too, and they just seem couple plus child, their child. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. I can understand why people make that assumption. Yeah, it's hopefully I will survive Grace's section in Resident Evil. We'll get there. He thought I was gonna think he was 20, but I guess 33, which was correct, bro. That guy's delusional. Did he look 20? Did he look young or no? I'm gonna guess he did not look young, and he's like, "How dare you?" What a weird guy. Yeah, so far, Grace's section. So far, Grace's section. It's tolerable. Okay. There is a lot. There's not too. I would say the amount of the puzzles is still a lot less than Resident Evil 2. Because Resident Evil 2, oh my god, there was like 1 million doors all with a different key. Like literally, first, like I played it for what, 2 hours? And there was like a spade key, a diamond key, a clover key, and or a clubs key or whatever. And then there was like, oh, we need a wheel for this door. And then we need the keypad thingies for the keypad. And then we also need like there was like 12 different things. I was like, this is too much. This is too many things. Like, oh, don't forget the bookcase. So I'm like, that was like too much. Resident Evil 9 is like 1/10 the amount of things that you need. Like it was like I needed a few different keys. Some of them opened right away. And some of them were just like codes or whatever. It was okay. I think you might enjoy 6, especially if you played multiplayer. Oh, I didn't know it was multiplayer. Um, Lots of people say the chronic care center is the best part in Resident Evil 9. I heard that later on you go through as Leon, and then you can kill all the guys as Leon. So I should save some guys, is what I'm thinking. But I kind of want to kill them all with Grace. Because apparently you can kill them all with Grace. A lore question for you that doesn't contain spoilers. And it's going to be like, why are Leon and Sherry together? um, that was a deal killer. That I think I just invented it for. Usually people say deal breaker. But deal killer works too. It sounds more intense. Deal killer. When Victor shot those innocent people in the virus in the neighboring city, did he start a new outbreak? Depends if they could contain it. Wasn't that many people. I always wonder that, like I think, they never show like the start of an apocalypse. Like they don't show how the zombies like spread so much, right? In the game. Cause like in real life that would never happen, right? Like if one person became a zombie, started biting people, even if that spread to like 12, 50 people, 100 people, the military, or like even if it was in America, just random people with guns, like you could handle that, right? Like people could easily handle that. Um not only that, it's like the fact that the zombies have to bite you to get like it would be quite hard to bite someone who is resisting, right? Like like it would be with any sort of like weapon. Like people could just pick up like a bat, a a pipe, whatever, like anything, right? Like they could just close the door. I think it would be very hard for actually zombies to spread like that, especially if they need to bite. And you sound off, but there's something like that. Yeah, deal breaker. Leon killed like 3 of them and I left some of the zombies attacking some people because why not? I didn't kill a lot of them. You know, Last of Us, the TV show actually show Outbreak, you know, well. Oh yeah, yeah. They changed in the TV show where it got into the grain supply. And in that situation, I could see that spreading. That's what I'm talking about, like just biting probably isn't gonna work. And I know in Walking Dead later on they change it so like, oh, they're like, oh, everyone's affected. So anyone who dies will get infected. But then it's like, how do you get to the point where like that many people are like the whole world is gone? You know, like there's no way. I really don't think that would happen. Victor casually infected a few people and walked away, no big deal. I was like losing my mind at that scene because like Leon like sees him carrying out Grace's limp body. And then he just watches him for like 3 minutes. I was like, Leon? Like I know there's a street to cross, but like did he had like zero urgency. And then he was like, "Oh, I lost him." And I was like, "How the hell did you lose him?" Like I'm sorry, Leon. Like I love you, but that was like I wasn't in control, super incompetent. He was right there and he was like, "Oh, I let him get away." Like, why didn't you chase him? What is his problem? Crazy. Actually crazy. He was just watching. He was like, "Oh, I think that's a Victor Gideon kidnapping a woman. I'm just gonna watch. Gonna look at him." And then he shot those people who were he infected. And then Leon still just watched. Like Leon's very passive in the cutscenes. Because there's no way he should have lost Victor. Victor wasn't like running. He was just walking away leisurely. And he was like, "Oh, I couldn't find him. He's gone." Come on, man. It was basically confirmed it got into the grain supply. First infected worker at the grain processing plant. Yeah, yeah. And if you notice, Joel and his daughter had a few chances to eat the grain that day and didn't. Exactly. Yeah, they changed in the show because they didn't put that in the game, which I think that would actually result in an outbreak because like so many people eat grain. It's all part of investigating. Not when you see an active kidnapping happening. And that guy's like, he just saw him shoot people. Like, what are you investigating? Just get him. Um, Walking Dead zombie logic is die, turn into a zombie. So basically, at some point, the zombies are going out outnumber the humans. Yeah, but then they never show how it, like, you know, like in that show, like Rick, he's in a coma and then he wakes up like 3 months later, and the outbreak is like the world is destroyed, right? It's like how do you get from no zombie outbreak to that point without like without the military just like exterminating the threat? Because I think it wouldn't reach that point. There's too many. Like maybe in a country with no guns, sure. In America, no way, no way. It's harder than and it's harder. It's very hard to spread the virus. Um, me just definitely a shoot first, questions later type of guy. Oh, absolutely. Runs in the clip when there's a sniper and he's told the person on the left and shoots him, and the person continues with, "It's my daughter. Take care of her." Oh no. You should have said that first. Oh my god. Um, if a zombie outbreak happened in my country, I could see lots of people defending themselves with their own firearm. Candace Cook, though. Some people do have firearms. I would be out there with a knife, okay? If Clementine can do it, I can do it. Knife. I'll figure it out. Long stick. Something like that. I mean, we have guns. Like we have like police officers and I think we have a military. I'm sure even the police could like, you know, as little faith as we have in the police. I'm sure they could do it. No? Cuz it wouldn't be like 70% of people already infected. It would just be like a few that multiply, right? Like I think they could take them out. Combine the long stick with the knife. Oh, true. I could start crafting. I'll be like, I've prepared for this. I've played the survival games. Attach the knife to the stick. Make a spear. Always in a survival game, you always make a spear. Good time I would just watch you turn to like Leon watches. True. Leon, oh my god. And then when Leon, the lady was getting attacked with a chainsaw, Leon was just watching. It was so funny. I'm like, Leon really doesn't care. Considering you love Resident Evil so much, I'll be taking myself out of the situation. You hate zombies. No, don't worry. It won't reach that point. It won't reach that point. Throw snowball. I think you could just like lock yourself at home for a while and then let the military handle it. Throw snowballs at zombies. That would work. That would work. It would work on the vampires. Lady D's daughters. They don't like the cold. He just waits for something to. I know he had so many opportunities. He saw the zombie man walk up to the woman. He saw him. He pulled out a chainsaw, revved it, and then the girl had time to turn and run. And Leon still didn't shoot that guy. I was like, "Are you serious?" He had time to pull. He had time to pull out the chainsaw. He's like, yeah, he's like, this girl's the worst. I'm just gonna let her die. He does not care. Leon's been through it. True. True. Yeah, I trust the Mounties. The Mounties can do it. Yeah, anime fan. アニメファンのために日本語喋ります。うん。リオンはももう疲れたから、そんなにいっぱいしたくないと思うから。そうかもね。うん、でもこんにちは、アニメファン。何の話したか、したらいいかわからないどうしよう。このままずっとわからないまま喋ったらいいと思う。なんか、レズニーボーの話はあんまり日本語でできないと思うから、何を話したらいいかわからない。でも、結構、そのゲームはすいません。あの、レジデントイそれは絶対言えないんだけど。I guess that's why they call it Biohazard, because I don't think Japanese people can say Resident Evil. Yeah. Yeah, because I was like, there's no way. That explains it. That explains it. Maybe Resident Evil 10 will be Ada folk. I would play the hell out of that. Even if it's only puzzle. I mean, there's no way Ada section will be only puzzles. Yeah, it kind of doesn't trust Ada. He thinks she's bad news. But yeah, it's what was I gonna say? Um yeah, Ada would not be like cowering and hiding. You know, she would be fighting. So I would love a game only Ada. Because honestly, Grace is a sweetheart, but playing as her really annoys me. I'm like, girl, you gotta get it together. Like, I understand you have anxiety, but we're in a life or death situation here. There's no time for this. You need to lock in, you know? Like you can get therapy after you survive. Like there's no time right now. If the paid DLC has Ada, oh, I would buy that absolutely. Ada would shoot the zombie through the nurse before the zombie had a chance to use a chain. That is actually so true. She would do that. Chances Resident Evil 9 DLC has Ada higher than Resident Evil 10. Having her as an MC. I guess she's never been the main character, right? She's just like a side character. You want me to wear my Pikachu hat? Okay. Are you gonna play Tripping Simulator tomorrow? Yes. I don't think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and keep playing it in first person because I think that's how they intended Grace's section to be. So yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to play in first person. I was also considering maybe getting like a frame of view mod because the frame of view is so tiny. Um, maybe that would be the better option because I don't really want to play in third person. If one, the game doesn't intend for that to be the intended way to play. That's not a sentence. And also, the tripping. I do not want to be tripping around all the time. By the way, you've been speaking a lot of English lately and you're getting more confident. Oh, that's great. People tell me it's very good for someone who arrived a few months ago. That is so great to hear, Ricky. I'm glad you're getting more confident because your English really is fine. Like, the English literally, like, it's good. Like, you have nothing to be scared about. And you'll only get better with practice. Side character full of red flags. Why do you think her dress is red? Because she's trying to get you. She knows you like red. There has to be a mod. Oh, there was definitely a mod like day one. Because it's something that people have a lot of issue with. Because, like, apparently the frame of view is normally, like, at minimum, like, 60 or something. Which is, like, the angle, I believe, that you can see. And Resident Evil 9 is 45. Which is, like, what, a 45-degree angle in front of your face? Like, literally tunnel vision. And generally they do that for, like, on consoles, because it can't render the game very well. They need to, like, reduce the frame that you can only see. But they don't even have a slider on PC, which would be able to handle it, or a lot of people's PCs would be able to handle it, which is a little ridiculous. You reckon a mod is the way to go? Okay, I might get that then. I already have a lot of mods, so put that out. And welcome in Mini, only 45 as in I know. If for anyone who plays like a FPS game or like a first person game, 45 is a crazy number. Like I don't know why Capcom thought that they're like, "Oh, this is reasonable. Like we'll set this as a default." It's really small. To the point where like I told you guys, right? Like I can't tell when Grace is running cuz you cannot perceive speed when you're tunnel vision like that, you know? Like I still cannot tell if I'm running. And welcome in Blossom. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, so it is a ridiculous thing. Like every time there's something in front of me, I'm like, it's so close, like legitimately so close. And for people who get motion sick, like apparently I get motion sick now. Um, apparently I get motion sick now, and yeah, the frame of view does not help. Capcom doesn't specialize in FPS games. Getting them right. Their last 3 games are in first person. What do you mean? Resident Evil 7, 8, 9. Flashing lights doesn't help either. Oh my god, that section was awful. I did not know that that could make me so motion sick, but I felt disgusted after that. Um, like the section where like the lights. If you guys weren't there, there's a section where like the lights are flickering, but they turn off for like a second and then they turn on for a second. So when you're like walking, suddenly it turns back on and then you're like in somewhere else. And I felt so sick. I guess because it's like moving, but you're like you can't see it moving. You're back from your appointment. I hope it went well. How are your eyes? How long for how long they've been making game? They're new to FPS, all things considered. Yeah, but they're like a huge game company. I don't think you could be like, oh, they just don't know. They don't know how to make resource and games. Like they can hire people who know, right? Like it's not really an excuse. Like they could figure it out. They could Google it. I'm not cutting them any slack. They're Capcom. But yeah, at least had a slider. Japanese companies don't make FPS games. Yeah, they do. They make all types of games. Yeah, it's turns out I'm extremely blind. Did you know that before or is this a sudden thing? Name one? Um I'm sure there's lots of first person Japanese games, no? Let me look it up. Resident Evil 9, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 9. No, there's way more. You know what's really popular in Japan? Apex Legends, but I don't think that's a Japanese game. Um Japanese games first person. Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime. Danganronpa. Whoa. Um like shooters specifically. But yeah, oh, any FPS focused games. Metroid Prime's HUD is terrible. Yeah, but like they're not stupid. They could figure it out. Ghostwire, yeah, Ghostwire was on there. I didn't know what that was though. Um, the dizziness multiplies for me since I have photosensitive epilepsy. Flashing lights is my biggest fear. Yeah, I mean Japanese games. My biggest criticism for them is accessibility. They suck at accessibility, like legitimately. Like it's 2026, and sometimes they don't even have like subtitle settings. You know, it's like, oh, like can I make the subtitles a little bigger? Can I change the color of the subtitles because they're blending into the background? Or like, can you show who's speaking on the subtitles? No, it's like, okay, subtitles on, subtitles off. That's it. And it's like, really? Or it's like, yeah, like Ricky is like, I have epilepsy. Can I have the flashing lights off? No, not allowed. Or it's like, I have hand coordination issues. I'm 90 years old and I would love to play Resident Evil, but I can't press the button really fast. Actually, I think Resident Evil 9 has that. I did see that in the settings. So good for them. The the lowest bar, the lowest of lowest bars. Um, they say deal with it, which is pretty awful, honestly. Cause like, yeah, like what if Ricky's like what if Ricky really wants to play Resident Evil, but the lights flash too much and it triggers his epilepsy? Like what? Deal with it? No way. Um, yeah, so it's not even like huge things. Like I think like what am I trying to say? Like, um, I'm not expecting them to be like to go as far as like some Western games go like really above and beyond with accessibility. It's like, okay, you can play this game if you're completely blind. Um, and then obviously like you don't have to you don't have to go that far, but even basic settings like changing the subtitles or something like that's pretty straightforward. Or like just people in motion getting motion sick, whatever. All those men sacrificed for Michi to retain her experience in my appearance. Am I Maleficent? Is that how what Maleficent does? I don't think she does actually. Can't remember. You go into FPS though when you use the bow in Souls games. That's true. True, and it's awful to aim. In Ocarina of Time, Japan's first attempt at first person, really paving the way in every capability. But yeah, they're even if they're. I mean, the first person is not like it's well done, like in the Resident Evil game. So I don't think they're like incompetent at it. But they could just add a FOV slider, right? Like it would not be that hard. And I think they're like, oh yeah, they're pretty good at getting like feedback or whatever from players and stuff like that. And apparently that's what they consider highly. Um, we would think someone would have been like motion sickness is pretty common, and they even have a motion sickness setting in the menu. Um, yeah, so being able to adjust that probably would be nice, but I do like a lot of accessibility settings in the game, mostly because I like to make the games easier in the accessibility settings, but stuff like that is nice, or even like a really basic thing. Like um you're the second person today to bring up Link's crossbow training. um that's crazy. What's the thing? Even a really basic setting, like isn't color blindness in men, red green color blindness in men like really common? Like even just having a setting for that, like come on. I mean, your epilepsy doesn't matter, but other things Japan doesn't have accessibility. We just deal with it in games. I mean, yeah, it is true that they don't have it, but I think it's valid to like. I think we should expect better, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, I understand Japan is just like that, but they should change that, right? Like they should improve in that regard. That doesn't mean you can't like call them out on it. What was the context for the first time it was mentioned? We were ranking Legend of Zelda games. Uh, and meaningless name brought up Link's crossbow training. I think it was a joke, but you were the second person today, which is kind of crazy. Very, very niche thing to randomly bring up. I never even heard of it. I read there was a massive incident with Pokemon episode where it triggered seizures on several people that were watching it that day, and because of that, they updated and prohibited that kind of things in animation. Apparently, not a thing yet in gaming. Yeah, gaming is. I mean, generally they have like epilepsy warning. Like when you open Genshin, it's like there's epilepsy warning. But I'm like, you just have a setting to turn that off. I don't know. Like warning you, I guess is good because then you could just be like, "Oh, I won't play the game," but I don't play the game. Who did? Meaningless name. Red green color blindness is 8% of men. Yeah, that's like fairly common. That's like a large chunk of people, you know? And red green color blindness settings would not be that hard to add. But yeah, it's that's definitely is definitely like a big shortcoming of Japanese games, right? Like well, like they do a lot of cool things and they're pretty innovative and they make a lot of great games. Um, but they really, really fall short in accessibility across the board. But again, that is a very Japan thing. Like they don't necessarily care about that kind of stuff, you know? And that's not a good thing. That's really not a good thing. And welcome in Ken. You never met a colorblind Asian dude? I don't know. Well, if it's 8% of men, is it 8% of white men? Maybe it's more common in certain races. Who knows? It could be a thing. I don't know this. I don't know the stats. I also don't know it. I don't know anyone who's red green colorblind personally. I think unless I guess a lot of people are. I just don't know. You are one, but you're half white. Maybe the white side of you is the colorblind side. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really come up. I mean, I think for a lot of people who are red green colorblind, it's not like deeply affecting your life. It actually is the white side. No way. Okay, our theory is still standing. That's funny. Yeah, it's yeah, Japan does a lot of great things. You guys know I'm not personally a huge fan of JRPGs. They're not really my thing. Like in terms of like like the grinding and stuff like that, can be a bit annoying. Um, and sometimes like I feel like they're like I guess they're just their own genre, right? JRPGs have their own stuff going on. Um, yeah, it's I do I do really appreciate accessibility settings because I get lost easily. Get lost super easily. The Caucasian in you is giving you a permanent debuff. No. You used to work with someone who was banned from driving at your old work because he was red green colorblind. So it's a risk. Oh, he must have been really badly colorblind then. Is it a risk though? Because you could see. I might be stupid, but like, I guess it is kind of dangerous. But like, you could see like, yeah, they're in order. Like the red one would never be at the bottom, you know. So I guess you could figure it out, but I don't know. When Persona 6 comes out, you're getting a copy still. What do you mean still? You're saying it like I already said that I was gonna get a copy. I don't think I ever said that. Look, I think Persona does a lot of great things, but I don't think I'd enjoy playing it. There's a lot of things I like, there's a lot of things I don't like. Just sneak a copy to you, fine. Cause one, I don't really like the JRPG gameplay. And two, some weird stuff. Some weird stuff in the games, okay? Like the friendships between the characters, very well done. Like I think like hanging out with Anne and or On, is that her name? Hanging with On and Ryuji and stuff like that, really nice. But like I was telling Gwen, the dating the teacher, super weird. Dating the doctor, super weird. Like why is that in the game? And then yeah, it's just very like I find it very edgy. Monster Hunter is Capcom's and does have quite a lot of accessibility settings. Wondering what changed. Yeah, not every Japanese game has terrible accessibility settings, but Um, it's more like the average level of it is much, much lower for Japanese games. Um, I thought they're trying to argue right now, right? I think it should be fine. Being Asian as well, because both sides treat you like you're half a person, not Asian enough, not white enough, just half. Yeah, I've heard that as well. I'm sorry. Um, sometimes like obviously it's not the same thing, but like similarly, like I think as well if you're Asian and you're raised in like a white or Western country, like it can also feel weird like in that way as well because you're not like fully Asian because you didn't like grow up and like fully immersed in Asian culture, and then also but also you're not like fully white, right? Because you have a lot of your cultural background and like you grew up in like a environment that's not fully white, you know. But as I'm older, I do like it. I appreciate it. But obviously, not the same thing. It's not the same thing as being Asian. It's not like it's not visible as well. Because that's another thing. Um, when I'm in Japan, I'm perceived as fully Japanese, and so like maybe they would treat me differently if I was not fully Japanese. One of my college classmates was colorblind and never knew that until they were asked to sort resistors, which are color coded. I mean, if you just never knew, like you're like, this is what red looks like. If someone says this is red, and you're like, this is what red looks like, so you're like, oh, okay. Like you just never question it. At least for me, traffic light hasn't been a problem, especially since they're in order, but I also don't drive. Yeah, yeah. I'd assume you get used to it. I think it's just biracial in general. Yeah, I would assume that happens to everyone who's biracial. But it's just a health and safety thing because it was a military. They're probably different rules on the military base. And welcome in, Angel. How are you? Um, my two older kids grew up in Japan. People don't realize they aren't American. Oh, really? Yeah, it can go like especially with like biracial people. Like sometimes, um, they can look a lot more towards one side, like one parent than the other. So it can be like it really just depends. um, but yeah, I am fully Asian as far as I'm aware. A lot of people get confused because I do have like double eyelids and like lighter skin, that kind of thing. But sometimes people are a bit confused. But I think generally, or my hairdresser was telling me, I don't know if this is true because he said like a lot of people from the south of Japan have like larger eyes, that kind of thing. I don't know if that's true. I'm like, is there that much genetic difference within Japan? I don't know. You taught my kids you taught your kids English and Japanese, so they're fluent. That's great. My Japanese is questionable, but I can get by. Me just Caucasian people ever went up to you and like spoke English really loud and clear because they assume you don't know English? Nah, not in Vancouver. Because in Vancouver, like everyone's like they can't do that to every Asian person, right? Like I'm like Vancouver's like 40% or like 50% Asian. I think they know a lot of people were born and raised here. Um, and I think as soon as I spoke, it'd be really clear that I'm, you know, an English speaker. Yeah, not in Vancouver, but I don't think it's happened to me elsewhere. I don't think it's happened to me in like in the UK, anything like that. Obviously, in other countries, like in France, like they're speaking French, it's not really relevant. Um, or even in America, no one has really done that to me. The only time, like, out in Vancouver, someone did the thing where they're like, "Where are you from?" And I said, I told, I told him the region of Vancouver that I grew up in. I was like, "Oh, I'm from this area," because I thought maybe they like knew me or something like that. And then he was like, "Oh no, oh you like are you like Chinese or Japanese?" I was like, "Bro, really?" I was like, "Are you serious?" Because like we were, I was like, firstly, we're in Vancouver. Vancouver is like 50% Asian, and two, we were at a mall we were at a mall with, like, mostly Asian stores. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, legitimately, Like 90% of the people in this mall are Asian. And like I was like, "You're boss." Like the people who work I was at the produce store, and I was like, the people you work for are also Asian. Like you cannot be you cannot even think like, "Oh, like this person just hasn't been around a lot of Asian people." You know? Like I was like, "What is this problem?" I've never had that happen to me in Vancouver. I got in being in the most Cuban place and people speaking Spanish to Kimmy and speaking to English for you. Oh no. I'm sorry, Ricky. um, I was playing some Japanese 80s ballads pretty loud, and this lady comes up to me and goes, "Oh, that music is very nice." What language is it? I says Japanese, and she goes, "I thought it's Korean." Like in Japan? Like in Japan or what? No, I can understand. I can understand non-speakers confusing English and sorry, Japanese and Korean. They can sound a bit similar. But if you're in Japan, that's ridiculous. One of the wildest things I've been told is, "Wow, your English is so good." Ugh. Yes. Just like a lot of like casual, like not even very casual racism. Um, and thanks for the 50 stream streak, Angel, going strong. Um, she was a Korean lady. I was oh, it was a Korean lady. Okay, to be fair though, I have played K-pop music in the car with my mom, and she was like, because like sometimes I play the Japanese version, right? And she hates the Japanese version because they suck at Japanese, and the Japanese is really weird because translated. But one time I was playing the actual Korean version, and she was like, "Their Japanese is really terrible." I was like, "Mom, this is Korean." She was like, "Oh, that's why I can't understand it." But to be fair, it's confusing because like they're Korean people speaking Japanese, and they're like not very good at Japanese. Um, so sometimes I do get confused as well. Like sometimes I'm like halfway through a K-pop song, and then I realize it's in Japanese, but they were just pronouncing it so badly that I couldn't tell. Like sometimes Korean people speaking Japanese sounds like Korean. Like I understand the confusion. My mom had the same thing. Your ex is Vietnamese, and I guess she looked Americanized or maybe not exactly Vietnamese. And when she got her nails done, she would hear all the gossip. Nice. Um, that never really happens to me because there's not that many Japanese people in Vancouver. But one time, I was at a shoe store when I was like 15. I was at the mall, and these Japanese people were like right behind me, and they were talking about me. But they were saying nice things. They were saying, "Oh, she's so pretty. She has such long legs." And I should have turned around and I said, "Thank you." But I was just like listening and laughing because I guess they would just assume that I was like Chinese or something like that because like I said, not many Japanese people. But that's the only time. I didn't want to embarrass them by turning because they were being nice. Like I was like, I could have turned around and said like, "Arigato gozaimasu." um, yeah, it is. I didn't do the shocking Japanese people with perfect. I didn't do that. It's okay. I'll just remember that moment. I feel I'll take the compliment. Yeah, sometimes when I'm in Japan, there's actually quite a few foreign people in Miyazaki these days. Like when growing up, there was like I only had once seen a white person in Miyazaki. Um, but now there's a lot of foreign people. So now I go around and I sometimes people are speaking English and I don't think they know that I understand English. So I'm just blending in as a fellow Miyazaki citizen, waiting for the day someone says something. They didn't mention your smell. No, no, my smell hadn't quite um uh fermented at that time. That's sweet. Yeah, they were nice. But Japanese people are. I mean, I think it's the Asian culture thing in general, but they're very quick to comment comment on people's looks, both positive and negative. Luckily, um, I've never experienced the negative parts because I've generally been thin. But I think if I gained any weight, Immediately. Immediately, I would get it mentioned to me all the time because I've seen it happen to my cousins. Um, a full Viet streamer I watched says she gets mistaken for mixed when she's in Vietnam. It's such a strange thing. It's because, like, I get that too because it's because, like, partially because 'cause they're like, "Oh, because you live in Canada, because you speak perfect English, you might be mixed." So sometimes it's that, and sometimes it's like so people can if I don't dress Japanese, if I just dress like how I normally dress, people do clock me as not being Japanese. She's very pretty, but even stinkier. No one has said that to me. I guess in Asia they can tell you're from the West. Yeah, you can tell. You can tell. Um, but I dress differently when I'm in Japan. Most breaking stereotypes about the tall blonde Norwegians. True. She's Canadian too, something in your wall. It's just not growing up in the culture. Like you can tell, like the makeup, the hair, the clothing, the way you carry yourself, the way you talk. Um, you can you can definitely tell. Like, no, not always, but people can smell it. Shouldn't say smell. They're gonna get the stinky comments. What the hell is dressing Japanese like a kimono? No, like the way people dress in Japan is not the same. Like the fashion trends and like the that kind of thing. It's very different. Like for example, when I go to Japan, I don't bring any of my crop tops. Like all my shirts are crop tops. I don't bring any of those. Generally they are very layered. Like literally it'll be like 30 degrees, like boiling hot. People in sweaters. Like legitimately people in sweaters. Like people really cover up. Um yeah, the people they dress quite modestly, I would say. Um and they're a lot dressier. You'll never see like athleisure. Um Out in public, you'll never see, like, sweatpants, leggings. Yeah, no one wears sunglasses, yeah, a lot of different the way people dress is very different, and the style is different, like, when you're at the mall. If you go to the mall, you'll see the clothing is very different than what is here. Sometimes there's a bit of overlap in the style, but not really. Maybe the way you carry yourself. Fashion trends, if I did I say fashion trends twice? I'm just so eloquent, what can I say? But yeah, I think yeah, people carry themselves differently, I think. Western people, more obnoxious. I am so much more obnoxious. Like, not like, in public. No, sorry, I'm not obnoxious in public, but, like, I think I'm more, like, um Japanese people I think the stereotype of Japanese people being, like, very quiet and polite, stuff like that, that's because Japanese people have a very, like, "Okay, this is my, like, outward public," like, um so, like, my outward public demeanor, and then I'm very different, like, around my friends, around my family, and stuff like that. Because like, I'm like when people are like, "Oh, Japanese people are so polite and, um, they're so polite and submissive," or, like, whatever, I'm like, "No, you should not have. You should meet actual Japanese people, and you will see they're not like that." Maybe in public, everyone's, like, overly polite and overly, like, passive aggressive, whatever. No one's, like, very confrontational or direct, but in private, completely different story. My cousin is loud as hell. I love her, but she's so loud. Um, Blending in with the locals. Yeah, I do. Because people stare at me. One time I wore leggings and everyone was staring at me. I felt so uncomfortable. One time I wore a shirt that shows my shoulders and everyone was staring at me. It's okay, Misha, you're very obnoxious. Thank you. Thank you. Misha goes into formal kimono, uses fax machines in Japan. Sure, if I wear a kimono, no one would assume I'm not Japanese. They'd be like, why are you wearing a kimono? But sometimes people wear kimono outside, like if they're going somewhere that needs a kimono, you know? You're like an introverted kind of person, is that what you're saying? That is unrelated to anything I was saying. They were being a no, it wasn't even like people like leering at me. Like some people were, yes. But there was also like people being like, "What is she wearing?" That kind of thing. Use the kimono every time I go to Target. Of course, you got it. true weeb fashion. You wear a kimono and then you use the Naruto hand signs. In my head, Japanese people in public are very avoidant, like Norwegians are. Yeah, I think just like culturally, people stick to themselves, and that's the same in Vancouver as well. You never get like people like doing like small talk on the street or something. Like everyone keeps to themselves. Everyone's very quiet in public. It's very, I don't know, Japan is a bit different in the sense that social order, I would say social order is very important, and like not standing out is like a big thing as well, just like culturally. I think it's changing now, but traditionally, like yeah, like just not standing out, being a good part of the collective is like a big thing, and I'm not a huge fan of that kind of culture. And also the very indirect kind of speaking, like that's something that I spoke to um with my friend who's from Japan, and she was like, "Oh, like one of the main things I prefer about Canada to Japan is that like the example she gave was like, oh, like if you were practicing piano and your neighbor thought it was too loud, the next time they see you, they would say, "Oh, I heard you practicing piano quite late last night." They wouldn't say like they would say that, and they wouldn't say like, "Oh, could you please keep it down? Like, could you please play the piano a little bit earlier in the day? Like, my kids are trying to sleep around like 9 p.m. Can you not go do late?" But they would say it very passive aggressively, and I'm like, "Oh, that drives me insane. I hate that." I'm like, please just be direct. Um, Nerd to run into Target. True. Scandinavia has the laws of Jonte, which are the unspoken rules about living here, which is the stuff like you shouldn't stick out and you shouldn't think you're better than others. Well, that's very similar to Japan, I think. Yeah, I think that is similar. You'd fit right in. Good job, man. Um, I don't think there are things I hate more than hypocrisy. Mm, I don't think that's a culture anywhere, luckily. We should get Zirconia in a kimono. He would fit right in. They would have your size. Oh, you'd feel so tall in Japan. You should check it out. You should try it. You should try going. But yeah, it's I think I prefer being I feel more free, I would say, in Canada, and also um that's another thing too. Like in Japan, your people expect you to be presentable at all times, and I'm like, okay, I get that. Like it's nice that people put effort into their appearance and people look nice out in public, but like why can't I go to the grocery store in my leggings? Like why can't I dress comfortably to go to the grocery store? Like, who cares? So that would kind of be really annoy me, like that. Like on one hand, it's like when you're there, it's like wow, everyone's dressed so nice, but at the same time, then you're like, you don't see the other side of it where it's like, oh, if you're not dressed nice, people will shame you. It's like it's kind of the weird thing. There's a lot of like keeping face, keeping appearances, and I really don't care about that. Like, there's a lot of things related to like, oh, you gotta keep up this appearance. Like if someone gives you a gift, you have to give them a gift back. It's like, what? Well, why? Like it never ends. I'm like, when I was telling my grandma, I was like, when does the gift giving end? Like, if someone gives you a gift, and then you give them a gift, and then they give you a gift, it's like, when does it end? He could wear it around Norway. He'd be cold. Some people I hate for some reason I hate passive aggressive people. I feel like it's a red flag. I mean, it just means they suck at communicating, right? Like their communication skills need work because they're not telling you directly. I need a Japanese person to shepherd me around Japan and find me vegan food. I would volunteer, but then I don't want to go to Japan and not eat sushi. When it's cooked when it comes to cuisine, I think you'd be okay in the big cities. I think they'd have vegan food in the big cities. Um, but I will send you a card that you can print out, okay? That says I am vegan. This is not fish is not vegan. No fish, no meat, no fish stock, no like I'll put that stuff on there. Don't worry. You don't get people going in their Crocs, but don't you think people should have the freedom to go in their Crocs if they want to? Like, it's better than, like, not being able to go in your Crocs, right? Like, as even if I personally wouldn't do it, why do I care what other people are doing? You know what I mean? But yeah, they might get a foot infection. But yeah, like, Japan culturally, they have their own stuff going on, and for me, it's like, the main reason I wouldn't wanna live there is, like, there's in terms of, like, feminism, they're way behind. In terms of, like, gender roles, that kinda thing, way behind. And, as someone who would be on the bad side of that, I'd prefer living here. When I went to Mexico City, I went to mini Chinatown where they have a lot of restaurants from China and etc. Um, there's some stores that had Japanese and Korean snacks. Nice. A lot of places have them. Just stick to the weeb quarter of Tokyo, the Akihabara. We need to set a hard limit somewhere, and that limit should be over Crocs. And I think that limit should be as long as you're covered. I think you just have to be covered. I'll set the limit there. Like you can't go to Target naked. You can go in your Crocs. I just don't get it. Like you use that to walk inside your house. What about at the beach or at the pool? Can you wear Crocs at the beach or pool? What if I use sandals? Yeah, I don't have a problem with this. Only Ricky has a problem with it. I don't have a problem with people wearing Crocs. They can wear them. I don't wear sandals that often though, because I feel like your feet get dirty. Beach and pool is fine, I guess. Okay, okay. But you live in like Florida right now. It's like I feel like surely lots of people will be out in sandals. Maybe a pretty common thing. About heading out for a quick errand in pajamas? Yeah, why not? I don't care. I think people should have the freedom to go to the store in pajamas if they want to. It's not like a black tie gala. Like, wear where you want. Uh, like last week or two, BTS were in Mexico City, and the fan base over there is huge. Yeah, I'd assume. Yeah, I heard concerts in Mexico go pretty crazy. They wear socks with chanclas. Am I weird? No, I think my feet get really sweaty if I'm barefoot, so I prefer not to wear sandals. And your feet get dirty, like the dirt from this floor gets on your feet. If you're truly advocating for freedom, you'd advocate for being able to wear Crocs at a black tie event. I actually think dress codes are stupid, personally. Like Resident Evil engines. Okay, I no one can get that sweaty. Okay, not that sweaty. Yeah, I think dress codes are kind of silly. I don't see a point in them. Um, I have a lot of hot takes. Okay, I will change society. Like why do the restaurant care? Like you go some restaurants are like, oh, you have to wear like business casual to be at the restaurant. I'm like, who cares? Like why do people care what other people around them are wearing? Like, does it matter? No, I don't think it matters. Um, you're planning on going to a big EDM festival this year? Have fun. If you sweat and it looks like water dripping. Okay, maybe if you're like doing like the most intense workout of your life, okay? If I'm watching Physical 100 and they're like pushing this heavy ball around for 3 hours, like sure, fair enough. They don't want to attract the riffraffs. That's true. Maybe this is probably true, right? Dress codes were probably like a classism thing. They're like, we got to keep the poor people out. Surely that's where dress code started. No, everything in America, or not everything in America, everything in society is like that. No, it's like you're like, why did this tradition start? It's either racism or classism, or misogyny. Um, no poppers allowed. Is that bad? If Hopper's bad, sounds like a fancy person. Probably not. Or both. It could be all three. Could be all of it. Oh, it's a poor person. It sounds fancy. Never mind. Oh, did you see they're making Physical 100 Sweden? I know you're anti-Sweden because you're Norwegian, but still, a Norwegian one would be cool. I bet Magnus would go on that one. Mitbo, not not Carlson. I'm just teaching you English. I don't think that will come up. It sounds very old-fashioned. But yeah, apparently, um, they're making Physical 100 Sweden, and I don't really know any of the people, but I'm excited to watch it because I love Physical 100. And what else? The people thought they would send that football guy, that the character in Ted Lasso is based off. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, that guy, but he's not there, unfortunately. Surely we send a cross country skier. Magnus would absolutely be ready for that. And then yeah, I'm sure you have a lot of athletes. Zlatan is too busy running AC Milan into the ground. Okay, he's too busy. You're a pauper? Okay. Okay, Chicano. You're a pauper wearing your shanklas and socks. Yeah, I'm excited to watch another Physical 100. Pauper. Okay, sorry. I think this will come up. I don't know if this will come up again. It's all about comfort. You gotta get those New Balances. Honestly, I think dressing comfortably is important for sure. I mean, you don't have to look like a slob and dress comfortably. You can dress comfortably and look nice, you know? It's what was I gonna say? I don't know. I gotta go soon. You're not that anti-Sweden, you're more anti-Denmark. Okay, okay. Well, it's Physical 100 Sweden, not Physical 100 Denmark. And I watched the whole thing just for I forgot you're a football fan. I didn't know you liked that guy too. I thought he's really weird. Because the character in Ted Lasso was really weird. I forgot his name. But he's apparently based off that guy. But it's worth watching anyway. Have you watched the previous Physical 100? I think you would like it. Like, even if you're not interested in fitness at all, it's just a really well done show. Zava. Oh, Zava, yeah. It's more wholesome than Zlad. Oh, that's not good. Okay. I think I will leave it here for today. I gotta eat lunch and then hopefully die at Pilates. Because I last time I told you guys, right? She made me do this workout that was like you lie on your back and then you put your legs up like vertically like this. Okay, imagine this is your body, this is your legs. And she was like, just lift your legs up and then go like this. And I was like, how? Like where is this coming from? And I was like, this is not possible. And then she was like, let me show you. And I was like, okay, show me. And she did it. I was like, defying physics. Like, actually, it's crazy. The core strength. And like, it can bend that way. And I was like, your legs, okay, this is your body, this is your legs, this is your hips. You're 90 degrees. And then she just goes, lift your glutes up off the ground. And I'm like, how? Like, where is that coming from? And it's not even like momentum. It's just like straight. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I will not have fun with that. If she makes me do that again, I'm screwed. She was like, okay, you try. And then she just grabbed my legs and lifted them. And I was like, I don't think I did it. I think you did it. Sometimes sometimes she's like, okay, you're not getting this. And then she just helps me up. But, so I feel like accomplished that I did it, but I know it was all her. Yeah, it's, apparently my core is still weak. Even though I think it's the strongest part of my body, but apparently it's still weak. My body overall. Did I practice during the week? Surprise you train. I don't think I can, even if I practice. I will, I have been doing core workouts, but I don't think I'm gonna get to that level of strength in 1 week. Maybe in like I've been doing Pilates for over 3 years now, so maybe it's another 3 more years. But yeah, we'll leave it here for today. I tried just trying hard. I was trying so hard. I thought I was gonna die. My abs were killing me. We're doing like the V sits. Oh, I hate the V sits. Yeah, she just keeps upping the level every time. Jumped a few times yesterday, got out of breath. Oh no. You gotta work on that, Ricky. Don't just dance. Okay. I will leave it here for today. We'll be playing Resident Evil tomorrow. I know you guys are excited for that. So Resident Evil tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific. Um, we'll be hopefully making some good progress there. Um, yeah. Hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. And hi bye B. Thanks for watching. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If I don't, have a great rest of your weekend. And thanks for watching.